Fitzpatrick takes the snap, drops back, lobs it back right corner. Decker! He's got it! Touchdown! Eric Decker scores! And the Jets have won it in overtime!
This is the Jet Take with Ben Blessington and Kyle Fahey.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jet Take. I'm your host, Ben Blessington, and yes, the Jets have finally won a game. I've pretty much forgotten how to do a show about a Jets win. We've had to do so many losses in a row. But, yes, the Jets came out on top of the Baltimore Ravens last Sunday. Kyle and I were talking, what are some of the keys to the games, and we had to get Matt Forte involved. And we had to create turnovers. And both of those two things the Jets did. Their defense was outstanding. Yes, Joe Flacco was not very good in the second half. But Matt Forte, finally, we haven't really seen him since week 2 against Buffalo. But finally, he made his return. So we'll talk about that game. The Jets are playing the Browns this Sunday. And I guess we'll preview that game. But, it's right now a lot of Jets fans are like, oh, that's an easy win. But the way this team had played the past 4 games before that Ravens game, but it's not going to be an easy game unless the Jets play like they did on Sunday. So we'll talk about all of that. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at the Jet Take. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. We have a blog page, www.libsyn.thejettake. Hold on, I got to get this right. www.libsyn/thejettake.com. You can follow us there and read our blog. And yes, we have moved to Wednesdays. It's a new night for us. But we're trying it out. I feel like this is a better night for us, and it gives us more time to talk about what's going to be on Sunday. So without further ado, I guess it's time to bring on my co-host, who's known as Mr. Money, Kyle Fahey. You're on.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Mr. Fahey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Ben. This is uncharted territory for us right now, so I will be a little rusty. Are we happy we won? Are we happy?
Yes, Kyle. Yeah, the Jets are only 2 games out of the wild card spot. Now,
all right,
granted,
Ben.
That's about 8 teams, but
yeah,
I
was just about to say there's 8 teams that are also ahead or 2 games out. So let's not act like we're world beaters, all right? But, thank you guys for tuning in. We already have a bunch of callers on the line. I guess this new Wednesday thing's going to work out.
Wow.
Complete opposite. Anyway, new day for the Jets and new day for us. We finally got a second win, but it seems like we haven't gotten a win all year against the beat-up Ravens team. And, it's good to get a win at home this year. The crowd was pretty wild. Geno Smith looked good until about, the second quarter? Then he pulled a Derrick Rose on us and broke our hearts. And probably it's the last time we will ever see him in the Jets uniform. So now we're stuck with Ryan Fitzmagic. There has been a glitch in the system, ladies and gentlemen. We have skipped the full cycle. And for those who are not aware of what I'm talking about, the cycle of Ryan Fitzpatrick goes like this. It starts like this. Get signed as a backup, or get traded, in our case, to be the backup quarterback. Some way end up in the team as a backup quarterback. Have the other quarterback either play terrible or get hurt. Go into the starting position. Play well for the season. Win the love of your teammates. Hold out in free agency. Get a contract and come in as a starter in the next year. Then suck. Get benched or cut. And then sign as a backup for the next team. Now, what we did, we benched him. And then instead of him coming back in and sucking again, he did okay.
Still sucked.
He
was not good.
He did not lose us the game, which has not been Ryan Fitzpatrick like this season. So I'll take that, all right? And we'll have to take Ryan Fitzpatrick with a grain of salt. Our good friends over Jets Fans Media are, you can go check out their website as well. Ben helped me out here. I'm just stupid sometimes.
NewYorkJetsFans.com. Go to there. NYJetsFans.com.
Well, NYJFshop.com, I believe, to buy their new shirt.
They have a website.
Well, they have a different thing for their shopping website now, if you were on top of it, Ben. But go buy their new shirt, ready for Petty, and join the bandwagon, because there's honestly no reason to start Ryan Fitzpatrick. We've seen what he can do. So, start Bryce Petty.
You just contradicted yourself in about two. You were all on the Fitzpatrick hype train until the end of that. Yes, there are good friends.
Whoa, I said he was okay. I wouldn't clear.
You just said we broke the system. We found a glitch.
But it's still Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, well, let's break down these quarterbacks until we get to our callers. Yeah, I mean, I thought Geno Smith looked solid. I thought he definitely gave this offense a spark. I mean, if Ryan Quigley didn't fumble that snap, not Ryan Quigley, it looks like Ryan.
I was about to say.
If Laquan Edwards didn't fumble that snap there, I mean, this would have been a double-digit game. The Jets' defense, the first half was rough for them. I mean, I thought the offense definitely carried them in the first half, even though their offense wasn't amazing. Quincy Nunez's 70-yard touchdown was the best play of the season so far, and the longest play of the season. I mean, he turned into an Olympic track star when he got the ball in his hands. I mean, he's one of those players that's just so fast with the ball in his hands. It's ridiculous. So I thought Geno Smith led Jets looked good, and then when Ryan Fitzpatrick took over, his first drive was a solid one. He hit Brandon Marshall for about 20 yards, then he had that little dump off to Forte, and overall I think he went 4 for 4, and he looked pretty solid. But the defense in the second half definitely carried us. I mean, in the first half, I think it was 2nd and 18, and they got 19 yards, or 3rd and 18, and they got 19 yards on their own 5 or something. And the Jets defense was just, I mean, there was that one pass about midfield where it just went through Calvin Pryor's hands, and we're just, ugh. But yes, in the defense in the second half, the defense showed up, and they looked awesome. I mean, Calvin Pryor got a pick, Buster Screen got a pick, but then you saw the Ryan Fitzpatrick problem, which is what's been plaguing us all year, is the red zone offense. I mean, Buster Screen took us down to the 2-yard line, and we couldn't punch it in. I mean, and Marcus Gilchrist got us down to the 10, and we couldn't punch it in. And Matt Forte fumbled, but then luckily Brandon Marshall might be our best defender because he got his second forced fumble as a Jet. I think the biggest difference between this game and in weeks past is definitely turnovers. I mean, it's proved you got to give this offense as many chances to score if you want to win, because I mean they're going to be putting up a lot of field goals. But I mean, a high volume of time for the Jets on offense led to some more points. So I think the turnovers really helped. Joe Flacco just looked awful. But overall I thought it was a good effort.
Elite.
No, he's not elite.
He is elite when his team's healthy. I mean,
that third down where it just slipped out of his hands was so embarrassing. I mean, it made me laugh. But I mean, finally, Bowles made some halftime adjustments on defense, and Kyle,
praise Jesus, he made adjustments at halftime, and they actually worked halfway well.
Well, yes.
I was gonna say other words, so halfway well doesn't sound like correct, but I was gonna say something else and caught myself halfway. But continue, Ben.
Kyle, let's talk about it, because a lot of Jets fans after this game are against the Muhammad Wilkerson signing. I mean, how ironic is that? I mean, we were all just chanting for Muhammad Wilkerson.
Whoa.
I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying a lot of Jets fans are like, hey, the Leonard Williams and putting Sheldon Richardson at defensive end worked. We were finally getting pressure on the QB, which led to turnovers. When Muhammad Wilkerson was out there, he clearly was not healthy. We were playing Sheldon out of position, and Leonard was getting double-teamed. And then that negated our pass rush. But finally, when we did this little system, it worked. So my thing is maybe the Jets, when Muhammad Wilkerson does come back, plays more nose tackle. It might lead to fewer sacks for him, but clearly Sheldon Richardson and Leonard Williams are the two best pass rushers right now. Muhammad Wilkerson might be one, but clearly he's not healthy. So when he does come back, he probably won't be 100%. You play him at nose tackle, he's going to eat up space, and he's always been good against the run. No matter if he's playing on one leg, he's going to be a good run defender. In the past, the sacks part of his game didn't develop until last year. But his entire career has been a good run stopper. So you put him at nose tackle. Maybe that doesn't work. Maybe you have to do a little substitution. But clearly Sheldon at defensive end and Leonard Williams worked. And you can rotate them, throughout there. Muhammad Wilkerson at defensive end with Leonard and whatever. But the Jets finally got pressure, which was huge. All right. Well, Kyle, do you have anything else to touch on the Muhammad Wilkerson subject, or are you, Kyle? Okay. I think Kyle is having some technical issues, so we'll come back to him. But let's keep it on the defensive side of the football. The secondary finally looked, somewhat decent in the second half, and again, I think we can attribute that to the pass rush. I mean, the Jets had no linebackers, so I was really worried about the pass rush, coming into this game because we're not going to have Muhammad Wilkerson. We're missing 3 of our starting linebackers. But we got pressure, and the corners actually looked solid. Darrelle Revis looked good. He had, quietly a very solid
island
day.
is back, ladies and gentlemen. The island is back.
Kyle has returned. Kyle, what's your take on the Muhammad Wilkerson situation? And then we'll come back to the secondary. But I think you're having some technical issues there. But
yeah, I don't know if you heard me, but I said a couple swear words, so I hope you didn't hear me. But sorry for the technical difficulties. On the Muhammad Wilkerson thing, going back to this summer, I clearly said I wanted Muhammad Wilkerson back, primarily because I didn't trust Sheldon Richardson not to get in trouble. But I also said if I wanted to take them talent-wise and what would probably equal the best product on the field, it would be Sheldon Richardson. And I think we've seen that as far. Now, I'm not saying, I didn't want Muhammad Wilkerson and I should be applauded. But I was definitely open to trading him. I still definitely am right now. I feel like there's a lot of things we can get for Muhammad Wilkerson.
Well, okay, can I cut in here? Because, Sheldon Richardson does give it his all every single play. I mean, he has the heart. And you could see, when he gets a sack, he looks like he's just so emotional, which is
dominant.
Yeah, it was impressive, and I love him as a player. But that off-field issue hasn't really gone away. He hasn't deleted these tweets, and I'll cover some of them up. But basically, if you go to Sheldon Richardson's Twitter, he tweeted at some fan, or I don't even know. I think he's a Giants fan because this guy's header. And Sheldon Richardson, he said, "I swear you can come see me whenever. Tough talk with them fingers. Put an address with that little something boy." Then the next one, like I thought, pure, another curse word.
It's the word Donald Trump likes to use.
Oh God. Oh no, yeah, because the guy said Lamo, fat boy is mad. that kind of ticked Sheldon off. And then the dude said. Then another guy chimed in saying thin skin, pointing to Sheldon Richardson's tweet saying, like I thought, pure, whatever. And Sheldon said, far from it. I just don't play about my fam, period. And as a man, you shouldn't either. So I think the guy might have insulted his uncle. That's how I'm going to take it. I don't
have a problem with this, to be honest.
I didn't see it, but I think that's what he's attacking. Then the guy said, but you so he said so when Sheldon said far from it, I just don't play about my fam, period, and as a man you shouldn't either. The guy who was originally trolling him said, but you drive with your nephew smoking weed going 170 with a loaded gun, spare me, you clown. And Sheldon said, fabricated story, I was speeding, smoking not at all, and yes, I own multiple guns, mostly hunting, some for protection. So
protect the NRA.
So finally Sheldon gives kind of his side of that. Then the guy responded with, but you drive with your nephew smoking weed going 170. No, never mind. That was the same tweet. Then Sheldon said again, following that, by all means, if you want this problem, I'll come through right now. All I need is an address. All this talk is unnecessary. The guy said, okay, let's go, tough guy, and gave him his address. When can I expect you? Sheldon then sent a screenshot. No, then Sheldon then sent a screenshot of him looking up that address on Google Maps, and there was a bunch of the same address, like for different states, and he was like, which one? And the guy gave him it, and he was like, and Sheldon said, fake address. It's cool though. And then he said some other stuff. So basically, Sheldon is still a little bit of a hothead. I had to cover up some words, so it wasn't a very smooth story there.
Yeah.
But, Sheldon is definitely a hothead, and sometimes does not use his head. So.
Hold on. All right.
I know. Well, we don't know what the guy said.
I don't have a problem with this.
Well, I'm gonna guess it was about something about his uncle because he said fam, which family. So I didn't see the guy. The guy must have deleted his original tweet.
Yeah, I believe he did because I went back and I didn't see anything either. Now,
the weird thing is, it's just Sheldon has not deleted this. He posted that Sunday, and I posted. I was like, how long do you think before Sheldon deletes this? But he hasn't, and there hasn't been a news story about it. But I'm just just to say that Sheldon, well, he's all good again. I think the one thing that works in our favor, though, is Sheldon is having a great year, and he's on pace to be back where he was at the end of the 2013 season, and possibly even better, especially if he's playing defensive end for the rest of the year. So I think maybe his value could be a second or a one. If the Jets, and we know he's going to ask for a lot of money, and probably more than Muhammad Wilkerson. And Muhammad Wilkerson is still a good player. We have to remember he's playing hurt. So I think the most likely thing is that Sheldon gets tagged and then gets traded. Or I don't even know. Does he have to get tagged? I don't think he does this offseason. Maybe it's next offseason. But no, Sheldon Richardson will be should get traded this offseason, in my opinion, unless you feel like you can get him for a cheaper or the same deal as Muhammad Wilkerson and get a fair price for Muhammad Wilkerson. Because Mo was coming off his best season, and you couldn't get what you wanted. So now the price has obviously dropped after playing hurt and not as well so far. And you still have the Sheldon Richardson contract, not guaranteed. So you basically, unless you can get those two things worked away where a team could be like, I'll give you a second for Muhammad Wilkerson and you and Sheldon agree to a deal, I don't think you can trade Muhammad Wilkerson. But that's just my take. Kyle, do you agree on it or do you disagree before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'll say I have absolutely no problem with what Sheldon said. Obviously, this is Twitter. I doubt Sheldon would ever do anything. It's probably just for show, fake address.
He did say he has a lot of guns and then proceeded to say, I'll go find your address. Which one is it? I mean, that is kind of frightening to see from your star player.
But did he do it? I mean, Ben, we say a lot of stuff, but we don't do anything.
I've never said to you, Kyle, hey, Kyle, I have a lot of guns. Give me your address. I'm going to come find you. And the guy, and it's not like we're friends too. I mean, he and this guy clearly aren't friends, and Sheldon, really the only reason this thing stopped is because the dude gave him a fake address. Like, I'm not saying that Sheldon would have done it. I'm just saying, it's got to be a little frightening that how is Sheldon not using his head and just ignoring this clown? He could have said the first thing, just saying, whatever, but he doesn't have to go as far as to say, I have a lot of guns, and then proceed to say, I'm going to find you and kill you. It's just, it's a little...
He never said he was going to kill him.
It was heavily implied. You're right, he never said it, but it was heavily implied.
It's heavily implied that if you're fighting Sheldon Richardson in any fight, I don't care if he has a gun or not, he'll probably kill you, unless you're like Muhammad Wilkerson size or something. I mean, Sheldon Richardson's a big dude. Let's be honest. He probably sipped a little too much of whatever he was drinking. Probably saw it. Probably got pissed off. It's nothing serious. I don't really care. If this kid was coming out of the draft and I saw he did something like this, I honestly wouldn't care. Now, that's just me. As long
really?
As
if this was a prospect coming out of the draft, you wouldn't care about? This would be a huge news story. The fact is that Sheldon's done so many things that I haven't seen one article on this, which is so surprising. Like if we're talking about violence in the NFL, well, not even a Deadspin article about Sheldon Richardson threatens to go beat up
because nobody cares. It's not news. It's like a 12 a.m. drunken fight with some loser who has nothing else better to do in his life.
I don't know. It just seems like normally for a star player you get those type of stories. I was just
is he a star player? I mean, I don't know a lot of people that know who Sheldon Richardson is. No, Jets fans will know him, but nobody else will. Oh, I could probably, unless they're like good NFL knowledge. Like, I would ask a lot of people, and they would be, "Who's Sheldon Richardson?"
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, not a lot of people knew who Josh Brown was, and that whole thing happened.
He's the guy that choked with the kick against the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheldon Richardson's more known than him. Whatever. This is a blatant point. I'm just saying, maybe I don't think Sheldon I think Sheldon is still pretty immature. That's the only reason I probably would just stick with Muhammad Wilkerson. Unless you can get that you can make sure that Sheldon's not going to do these type of things, and you have assurance that you can trade Muhammad Wilkerson for a good deal, and you can sign Sheldon Richardson. Anyways, let's move on. We were talking about the secondary when you were gone for a second, Kyle, and we're going to get to the callers pretty soon. But, yeah, I thought the secondary in the first half, it was really rough. It was more of the same, a lot of long passes for big chunks of yards. But in the second half, I thought they did a good job. I mean, that was totally a defensive pass interference in my mind on that last play of the game. At least it initially looked like it. In slow-mo, it didn't look like they had too much contact. But when Joe Flacco heaved that ball downfield on the last play of the game, I was like, oh, God. Marcus Williams has his hands all over this guy. But luckily it was not called.
Went out of bounds, didn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, no. But they would have gotten down to the 5 if they had called it. I mean, it wouldn't have been as controversial if that had been called. It wouldn't have been something where like, oh, that's clearly not defensive. It was a 50-50 choice but I think they realized, the Jets are home. That probably factored in. And, I mean, it was just that one guy's opinion. I mean, and in slow-mo, as I said, it didn't look like they had as much contact as it initially did on television. And they got 2 interceptions. They looked good. They held Joe Flacco in check, and the run defense also looked good with the absence of 3 linebackers and Muhammad Wilkerson holding the Ravens to, I believe, like 6 yards or something crazy, setting their new record.
9 yards.
9 yards, that's what it was.
Yeah,
9
they
yards.
corrected it today, and they gave Leonard Williams a sack. And actually, because he got that sack, somehow, some way, it gave them like an extra 3 yards rushing. No idea how that works, but, screw the Jets. And then before we get to the callers, I actually have something I want to talk about.
Kyle, because they were originally calling it a QB run.
Oh, okay.
And then because it wasn't a run, meaning it wasn't negative 3 yards, it was just a sack. And then because of that, it was 9 yards. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
Get on to your topic, Kyle.
Yeah,
we got an hour and 40 minutes to go. Come on, buddy.
Manish Mehta. I hope you're listening. I doubt you are.
Guarantee you he's not.
I hope you're not listening, because honestly, our words are not, they're so much above you. It's not even funny. You pathetic piece of crap. How do you even have a job? All you do is write clickbait articles that are absolute BS. You should not have a job. I don't care if you have a family, all right? You are a pathetic writer.
Sheldon,
I don't even care.
Is that you?
I don't even care at this point. This dude's a pathetic writer who all he cares about is making drama that's never correct, invalid sources, invalid information, spinning stuff whatever way he wants it. I just caught myself there. He's a disgrace to journalism itself. And same goes with other guys like Rich Cimini. He isn't as bad, but he's pretty bad.
Rich Cimini is not as bad. I mean,
he's a Patriots fan who's writing about the Jets.
No, I mean, he's been with the Jets for so long that he's hit just a new level. I feel like, yes, he occasionally has a trash article, but for the most part, he's not a Jets homer, and he's pretty fair. Manish Mehta, on the other hand, is just a complete, for some reason, I think the dude just likes getting trolls because, I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of comments he gets on his tweets, just, you're trash, you're the worst. I mean, he deserves it with some of his articles. I mean, his articles about Geno Smith this past week have just been ridiculous.
Yeah. And then today, and I don't think it was him, but I'm sure he'll have one. Brandon Marshall was wearing Jay's Fitzmagic 2.0 t-shirt. I don't know if you saw that, Ben. Mm-hmm. And all these articles are like, Brandon Marshall wearing his emotions on his body. Like that's some great wordplay instead of his heart on his sleeve or emotions, whatever it is. They're criticizing him. Oh, he's never supported Geno Smith. He only likes Fitz. He's clearly biased. They don't want Geno Smith to succeed in New York. What is this bullcrap? Because he's supporting his current starting quarterback? If you're honestly going to tell me he wasn't supporting Geno Smith at any point in the time when, that's bullcrap. These writers in New York are absolutely terrible. Ben, me and you would be, I'm going to say 50 times better than these guys and probably should get paid a lot more for the work that we do. I know I think that
until you learn the differences between your twos and twos, your theirs and theirs and theirs, and your
I know the difference.
Your who's
I know the
and
difference
who's.
To all those. See,
Kyle, you mess up quite
a yourself seem really smart, but you're not.
I'm not calling myself really smart. I'm just saying you mess up on those 3 to 4 things quite frequently. Until you can get those down, I don't think you're getting outpaid by the New York Daily News.
Well, first of all, the New York Daily News, it's trash as it is. I mean, I don't even know how they're still around. They've been trashed their whole time.
There's the New York Daily News.
But they suck, and that's why they were bought out by whoever it was 5 years ago, because they went bankrupt because they absolutely sucked. But anyway, I've caught myself saying swear words 8 times already. So let's just get off this topic and let's go on to the callers.
All right, well, with that, we'll move on to our callers. Our first caller of the night is GangGreen David. David, how's it going, man?
Woo! Where's the theme song?
Oh, wait.
Hey, shut up, David. We're playing your theme song. I'll mute him.
Kyle.
It's cool. We're friends.
All right. Let me
play the theme song.
Hold on. I gotta find it first. I was not prepared. Normally, I get it teed up and then I bring him on. All right. Without further ado, GangGreen David, everybody, and headphone warning to anybody listening to this, or turn your headphones down or something, because this will most likely cause bleeding from the ear.
You'll become Helen Keller.
That horrible joke.
It was hilarious.
Here comes the, y'all don't
Oh, I can't listen to that anymore. David, how's it going, man?
Ben, Kyle, I'm happy to have walked out of MetLife Stadium with a win.
Yeah.
Once.
Is it good, though? I mean, is it really?
It is, happy to go to the game. I mean, it was cold, it was windy, and
Cold?
quite hectic. I mean, I even brought a Ravens fan with me. I placed a wager with him, pretty much the same wager I placed with Norb. So now he has to wear Jets merchandise since his team lost.
Well, hold on. First of all, clarify who Norb is, because for those who don't watch his YouTube, and obviously that's a mistake if you're not watching it because he does a fantastic job. Who is Norb?
All right, so Norb, or Norb Cam, is a diehard Seahawks fan. He basically was the man who inspired me to do my YouTube channel. Very popular YouTuber, does amazing videos, and love his work. And I did a video with him for the Jets-Seahawks game, placed a wager, I lost, and I had to wear Seahawks merchandise. And this applies same thing to the Ravens game, except Ravens fan lost, and now he has to wear Jets merch. So,
yeah, hey, at least you won this time. I don't know how great it is for us to win because it just puts us right back in the 15 to 20 draft pick area, which is really nothing when you think about it. All right, David, so give us your analysis on the game. I mean, you were there. You saw it in first person. I don't know if your reaction video is up yet. You gave me a little sneak preview of it earlier. I saw you freaking out on Quincy Enunwa's 69-yard touchdown run. So just go ahead and give us a little bit of an analysis. What did we do well? What do we need to improve on? And do you still think we're going 12-4?
12-4, okay. No. But in regards to my reaction video, I finally finished editing it. Hopefully I can get it up within the next couple of days, hopefully by tonight. Now, regards to the game, defense finally woke up. I finally saw some safety up on the deep balls. Regards to that Mike Wallace deep ball, Pryor couldn't get to it in time, so Wallace was able to haul it in. But he finally woke up on the deep balls, especially with that interception by Mr. Screen. I thought it was a pick six in my eyes. I was a little shocked that Ryan Fitzpatrick came back into the game, and when he was, I expected him to throw an interception, but through the 21-yarder to Brandon Marshall, led the Jets down to an 85-yard touchdown drive. Run defense was phenomenal. I mean, we shut down Terrence West, had 8 carries for 10 yards when he went, I believe, 118 yards and 2 scores against the Giants the week before. So defense finally woke up. Offense, I saw everybody out there. Anderson was doing some work. Enunwa was definitely doing something. Brandon Marshall had some plays. Jerome Peak had a catch. Everyone got involved. Run game was great. Forte went off again, had 115 total yards, and I'm glad to see the Jets get a win. Moving on to a winless team now.
Yeah, I mean, we're on to Cleveland, and this Cleveland Browns team, they may be winless, but let's not underestimate them. They've been playing pretty decently. They're a well-coached team. I mean, obviously they haven't won any games, but it's not like they've been absolutely blown out in every single competition. I mean, they have some good players who we definitely need to watch out for. But anyway,
agreed.
Who do you think was the MVP of the Jets game on Sunday?
I would probably have to say Matt Forte, since he did pretty much lead the offense a little bit regards to his run gains. Had lots of nice runs, caught some nice passes out of the backfield. Exactly what we used him for. Still running him like he's Chris Ivory, though, but, we gave him some screens, and he went off for the races. Yards after catch was phenomenal. But thing that is concerning with Matt Forte, I think we should run some wheel routes to him because that is something he is known for. He's a great matchup with linebackers, and I haven't really seen that out of him. I haven't seen that out of the Ravens game, and I hope to see that on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Ben, your turn.
Oh, okay. I was just letting you guys talk. David, in my mind, though, I mean, for all the good Matt Forte did, I think the MVP's got to be Sheldon Richardson. I'm sorry. I mean, although Matt Forte had the yards and stuff, but
just leave, Ben.
Kyle, think about this. Sheldon Richardson was getting a pass rush on Joe Flacco every single play. He had so many tackles for losses, so many QB hits. I mean, he was forcing Joe Flacco into bad throws and you can make the case he caused both interceptions. So, I mean, he was giving that offense as many opportunities. Now, Matt Forte is a very close second, but for me, Sheldon Richardson, if he had not played that game, the Jets would not have won. And that's the definition of an MVP. I feel like Bilal Powell could have done what Matt Forte did. That's the only reason I'm giving it to Sheldon Richardson, because clearly Muhammad Wilkerson wasn't doing what Sheldon Richardson was doing, and mostly because he was hurt. But, Sheldon is by far and away the MVP of that game.
I'll give you that one. I'll make him the defensive MVP. Forte was the offensive MVP.
For sure.
Put it that way.
Okay, this isn't like Little League baseball where everybody gets a trophy. There's only one winner.
Well, anyway, David. Let's look forward. I mean, enough about the Ravens game. Let's talk about this Cleveland Browns game. Well, what are your expectations for this Sunday for Ryan Fitzpatrick? I mean, obviously we're going to see Fitzpatrick again. Do you think it's going to be more like the 2015 Fitzpatrick, or the one we saw against the Bills, that type of Fitzpatrick, or more of the same, the Fitzpatrick we saw against the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Steelers, the Cardinals? Which Fitzpatrick do you think will show up on Sunday?
Well, pretty much looking at the Browns defense, gotta watch, like Kyle said, you gotta watch out for certain players. And that includes players like Joe Hayden, and I think Dante Winter's still on the team, and also Demario Davis is facing his former team. Now, looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick, looking at that 2015 Browns game, he did use Eric Decker a lot. And since we are without Eric Decker, it is going to be hard for him to capitalize without his red zone threat. But we need to see, pretty much it's not just about Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's about the entire offense. We have to see everybody out there. We have to see the right play calls that were made on Sunday. And everybody needs to be used well. The weapons need to be used well. And hopefully the O-line can get some good protection on Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick, no more eyeing down receivers because that is his habit. I didn't really see that much on Sunday. It looks like all the receivers caught passes from him. But Ryan Fitzpatrick played the way he did against the Ravens. Solid game. Giving the receiver the ball. I think we could see a good Ryan Fitzpatrick. However, lots of fans are expecting it to be a horror, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, plenty of Jets fans are expecting a multiple interception game, but against the Browns, an 0-7 team, the Jets have no excuses to lose this game. If the Jets win it, the Fitzpatrick homers are going to be right back on Twitter with, Fitzmagic has returned. No, I'm saving my judgments on Ryan Fitzpatrick until the bye week. Now, David, I want to ask you about the Jets' playoff chances. Yes, I just said playoffs. Even though we're sitting at 2-5, I want to see. I mean, you're generally a pretty optimistic Jets fan, so I want to get your take on this. Right now, the Jets are at 2-5. They have 3 very winnable games. I mean, I had touted that Ravens game as the swing game for momentum for so long. I think if you're a frequent listener to the show, I mean, you got to be sick of it by now. The Jets won that swing game, and I said, that's going to give them a lot of momentum. If they come off a win there, then they're facing the Browns. That could be a win, and then they're facing the Dolphins, and pretty soon, you got 2-3 wins in a row, and then you're facing the Rams at 4 in a row. Into the bye. I mean, when you face a game like that against a well-coached, solid team, obviously the Ravens, were hurt a lot. It gives you a lot of, confidence and stuff. Anyway,
wait. Did you just say playoffs?
Yes, Kyle, you're a little late to the party.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
Well,
boy. Playoffs with Ryan Fitzpatrick as our quarterback.
You didn't let me finish the question. Kyle, you came in and tuned in to the last few seconds of that little thing.
No, I heard the whole thing. David, I know you're a pretty optimistic Jets fan. So what do you think are
Kyle, well, let me ask you the question then. Okay. I'm going to put Kyle on mute because he's being so annoying, man. Now, David.
Mute me.
So what do you think the Jets' chances are of making the playoffs? And to actually, let's open that up with, what do you think the Jets' chances are to win these next 3 games? And then what do you think the Jets' chances are of making the playoffs if they win these next 3 games? Because, my take is if the Jets win these next 3 games, they'll be coming off 4 in a row. They'll be 5-5. They'll be a red-hot team. They'll go into that bye week, and then they come out and they're facing the Patriots at home Sunday Night Football, Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be there. I think that would be the best time to beat the Patriots. Anyways, we're getting a little far ahead of ourselves. It's a long shot. I don't want to sound like a homer. I'm just saying, it's not out of the it's certainly a plausible scenario. It's still a long shot for that to happen for the Jets, but I just want to get your take. Do you think that can happen? And then if that happens, what do you think the Jets' chances are at making the playoffs?
First of all, Ben, I agree with you, and I'm going to that Jetpack game. I'm glad you're coming out there. I will also be there, and I'll hope to see you there.
Two worlds combined.
Well, regards to winning these games, I'm not taking these games lightly because even though they are winnable games, there are weapons these teams have that we are playing. Dolphins, Browns, and Rams. That includes, well, I'm not even going to get into the inclusions, but these weapons could take advantage of us. But, however, like I said, the Jets need to play like the 2015 team they are because we win 4 in a row, and then pretty much after the bye week, we have to win 4 or 5 out of our next 6. So it is a hard task to make the playoffs. But you know what? Teams have done it before. And you know what? I said that the Jets can be the underdogs of the NFL, and anything can happen in this league because right now, what do you mean? What are you sighing about, Kyle?
I just love your positivity, David. It's like, it's good. I need it sometimes.
Well, I appreciate it, but listen, going into that Pack game is our toughest home game, but we are coming off the bye week and we are at home, so I do expect a win out of that. Pretty much after that, then I think we'll all be set because we have the Colts, the Niners, then pretty much the only challenging game we have on that 6-game stretch after the bye week is the Pack game at Gillette. But, looking at these last few games, looking at how winnable they could be, even though I'm not going to take these games lightly at this point, I think we could prevail as the underdogs. I think we could go to the playoffs.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Kyle, why don't you give your take on this, all right?
It should be good.
Yeah.
Gotta get my soundbite ready.
David, your soundbite is not relevant to it whatsoever. I know the soundbite. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Okay, I know the one you're going to play. So you look at the next games we have, right?
Okay.
Cleveland. I'm not sure if that's a win, honestly. They're a tough team. We have to go to the dog pound. They have Terrell Pryor, a speedy wide receiver who can beat us deep. They have Isaiah Crowell, a good running back. They have a good offensive line. And everything else pretty much sucks for them. I'm pretty sure Kevin Hogan's starting. He was one of my favorite quarterbacks coming out of this draft, along with Dak Prescott and Jeff Driscoll. So far, only one of those guys has, stepped up. But they have a good head coach. They have a better head coach than us. They have a lot of weapons to work with. Now, I don't think we'll lose, but we can't come into this game thinking that we're going to win. Because if we do that, they will catch us off guard and we'll be the laughing stock of the NFL. And you go on to the next game. So I'll just say for argument's sake, we'll win that game because I think we will. All right, so that puts us at 3-5. Then we go on to Miami. I wish I was going to be there. I can't. I have a wedding the day later, so sucks to be me. Dolphins have been on a roll, but here's the key: Ryan Tannehill absolutely sucks. They're winning right now, but go watch his tape. He has had the worst games of his career. They've been covered up by Jay Ajayi. And what do the Jets do well as of right now? Stop the running game. Take away Jay Ajayi, I think we win that game pretty easily. All right, so that puts us at 4-5. The Rams, they're a pretty tough team. Now, luckily, they come to us because obviously we never do well on the West Coast. I don't know why. We just don't. So they have a terrible head coach, and they just have a terrible team, and it steps into the defensive line. So I think we'll win that. We'll be 5-5 at the bye.
Wait, Kyle. The thing with the Rams is the offense is going to have a decent day because if you put up above 20 points against the Rams, you're winning that game. So, I mean,
more like 9.
That's a good point. If the defense can, keep the Rams' offense in check, which probably shouldn't be that much of an issue. The key is the offense.
Case Keenum for president.
Well, the key is the offense for the Jets in that game. We're getting way far ahead of ourselves. But if the Jets want to win that game, you can't be losing that field position battle. You know what I'm saying? The Rams defense can't just dominate the Jets.
And they have a great punter.
Punting. Yeah, where the Jets are punting, and then the Rams are taking over at midfield, and then the Jets defense is tired and come back. The way the Jets are going to win that game is Matt Forte, control the clock, play solid defense, and it should be another easy win.
Agreed.
Nope. And
yeah,
Kyle,
I mean, I guess you're just gonna jump cut to me. I mean, just no way to finish that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll probably be 5-5 at the bye.
Let's preface this with, I'm a very cautiously optimistic Jets fan.
I'm a very cautiously unoptimistic Jets fan who still thinks we won't make the playoffs. So Ryan Fitzpatrick will be average. Don't know.
He's got a soundbite for you, Kyle.
And he's muted. So anyway,
No, he's just kidding. Well, I mean, let's just say this. I mean, I think the Jets can do this, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because I could see the Jets choking to the Browns or choking to the Dolphins or losing to the Rams.
There's an extreme choking.
I'm just saying there is a solid chance the Jets could be 5-5 at the bye.
It's like
and they should be 5-5 at the bye. For sure, they should definitely be 5-5 at the bye. So that's just my take on it. David, before we let you go, man. Kyle's one last thing for you.
I had a thing to say. The Jets are like a Lego kit. We have all the pieces. We just have to put it together. But there's a choking hazard with those pieces. All right?
That was the big joke you had to make.
Yes, I actually find that very funny.
I mean, it was solid, not a laugh.
That was solid. That was solid for on the spot, and we're talking about choking and all the pieces that we have, and we could potentially win this game. Just need to get. I think it's a good reference, and if you don't like it, you can fight me. Give me your address. Give me your address. I will find you.
I have a lot of guns.
I have a lot of guns. I'm sponsored by the NRA. I may have been drinking some Hennessy. Basic crap, all right?
Well, okay, well, let's move on from that topic. GangGreen David, before we let you go, man, what's your prediction for this Sunday? Are the Jets going to win, and if so, by how much? Who are going to be the MVPs? Just basic overall predictions for this Sunday. What's going to take place?
I'm done with predictions at this point because it's honestly too.
I know his prediction because he told me before the before the show. So if he doesn't say it, I'm going to say it.
Go ahead, say it.
Okay, his prediction was, I want to say 23-21. Correct me if I'm wrong, David.
It was actually 30-23, but.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't think we're winning by much, but it's 30 points. So I guess Bryce Petty comes in at some point if we're putting up that much points.
If the Jets defense is allowing 23 points to the Browns offense, I got to be worried. Yeah. Well, I mean. Quite frankly, I believe the Jets will win this game, but if it is close, I don't think it's going to be high scoring just because I think the weakness for both these two teams is offense. But, anyways, David, before we let you go, man, give out your information.
So, I have a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to me at GangGreen David. I talk about the Jets. I go to games. I talk to fans. I react to games. I love going to games. And it's actually a lot of fun doing this YouTube channel. I vlog about games, like I said. You can follow me on Instagram at GangGreenDavid1. You can follow me on Twitter. So I screwed that up. You can follow me on Instagram at GangGreen_David. You can follow me on Twitter at GangGreenDavid1. You send me a DM, text me, whatever. I'll text you right back.
That was straight out of the Joe playbook, but okay.
Out of the Joe playbook. But, I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy interacting with the fan base. I love it. And more videos to come soon. And that includes my reaction to the Jet-Raven game video from inside MetLife Stadium. Go Jets, baby.
Woo! All right, David, thanks for being on, buddy.
Here's my outro.
Nope. Okay. Nope, that's copyright. All right, so let's just move on to the next caller. Who do you want, Ben?
Yeah, let me do my job. Next caller of the night is Jaden. Jaden, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, we haven't heard from you in a while, so I mean, we
You're
made
alive.
it through the dark ages. Yes, I think the last time we talked to you, we all thought the Jets were going to the Super Bowl. I mean,
no,
Jaden,
that's a lie. That did not come from this fellow.
It's a joke, Kyle.
I never thought
Jaden,
that.
Yeah,
So
no. Yeah. Ouch, Kyle. Anyways, Jaden, what were your thoughts on this Sunday's past game against the Ravens?
As far as the running game and Matt Forte, I was pleased. And Quincy Enunwa showed up. And I know Geno Smith showed up, but unfortunately he got hurt. And Ryan Fitzpatrick eventually showed up. And so...
Wait, in the game or for the season?
Oh, for the season. I mean, he hasn't done much but lose us some games. But our defense has shown up. I mean, it's the Ravens. They're beat up. But as long as we can get on a roll, I think we can. Well, I hopefully we can do some damage these next couple games.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Matt Forte definitely pounded the ball well. But speaking of another running back who, just wasn't there, Bilal Powell, where do you think he is?
Oh, I mean, I know you usually say this a lot. We don't think that Chan Gailey's using him as well as we have in the past. I mean, last year he was catching those balls, showing his explosiveness, and I'd like to see that more. He did show a couple plays, and the commentators said, "Oh, Bilal Powell," but I would like to see him more. Matt Forte, he's getting 30 carries and all these balls, and I mean, he's not the fact that he's old. It's just those are a lot of carries, and I mean, one person. So I mean, Bilal Powell, he's obviously explosive. We just gotta use him more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's the most explosive player on the team when used right. Now, what we saw from Chan Gailey in this game was a lot better. I don't know if it's because Geno Smith opens up the playbook a little more, but even when Ryan Fitzpatrick came in, it looks like Chan Gailey was making play calls that limited Ryan Fitzpatrick in a good way, basically saying they didn't let him lose the game for us. Do you think that's what the case was?
I mean, I can hope so. When you look at different people or different teams, make adjustments. So obviously, Chan probably made some adjustments and formed his playbook around. So, different times call for different measures. So, hopefully, I just wish we had Geno for some deep balls because Ryan Fitzpatrick arm gets me mad.
I think every Jets fan can say that. Now, going on with Ryan Fitzpatrick, do you think the Jets have absolutely any chance to win with Ryan Fitzpatrick, or do you think that we should just go ahead, start Petty, or even Hackenberg, and prep them for next year and make a real run at what we want next year?
Oh, I can say that other fans would want to start Ryan Fitzpatrick just because of the money we have invested in him. But as far as this next game, if he can't do anything against the Browns, he's really got to sit down. And we can roll with Petty because, I mean, as far as right now, if we can't get a win in this game, we're throwing the season away. So, yeah, I mean, that's really my take on that.
All right, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a reasonable take. Now, do you think the Jets have absolutely any future with Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg? Do you think we should possibly start looking at the draft or possibly even trade for a guy like Tony Romo, who may not have the starting job?
No, I mean,
it's a trash take, but anyways.
Hold up, Ben. Shut up for a second. How is that a trash take? I would beg for Tony Romo right now. I don't care if he's out for 15 games.
Yeah, obviously
I don't care if he's out for 15 games. He's 10 times better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I guarantee you if we had Tony Romo healthy for 90% of the games, including the playoffs, the Jets would win a Super Bowl. Because he's like...
No, sorry, I'm not saying now. I mean, obviously, if the Jets traded for Tony Romo now, I mean, it'd be interesting. But, Kyle, are you willing to pay him a big contract and put in all that work into
to win the
Tony
Super
Romo
Bowl?
To
win a Super Bowl? Yes. Yes.
Right.
I mean,
Jade, what's your
Dallas.
Jade, what's
he
your
got
take on
Dallas to the NFC Championship.
Jade, just remember who your true best friend is when you make this answer. But what's your take on this trash opinion about trading for Tony Romo mid-season?
I'm not saying right now. I
Tony
said
Romo,
looking towards the future. I literally said looking towards the future.
Sorry, I heard mid-season. That's the only reason I was like, what are you talking about?
well, for the future, I wouldn't pick him because he's broken his clavicle about like 20 times, and his back
And Ryan
has been.
Fitzpatrick's broken our heart about 1,000,000 times.
Well, that was a good comeback.
I don't know where that came from.
But yeah, like I don't know, future-wise, I can see us going with somebody young. I don't want to get somebody old. That's out of the picture for me. But I don't think we should go draft-wise because we fit quarterbacks for about 5 years straight, and I want to get away from that. But I mean, these two young quarterbacks, they have to have a future with us. I mean, you can't invest all these picks and not pick somebody. Like, that's just stupid. I mean, I guess that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a fair point. All right, Jaden, any last things before you go?
No.
All right, well, go ahead and give us all your social media things, because I'm pretty sure you already follow me on Snapchat, so you're the homie for that. But go ahead and give us your Twitter.
You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter. It's D'Angelo Jaden, no space, no hash, nothing.
All right, awesome, man. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
All right, and that was a great call from Jaden there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and that I don't understand why you would be against.
No. Sorry, I was half listening and half trying to do something for this show. I'll let you know in a minute. And then I thought you said trade for Tony Romo, and I was like, what? Dude, we're 2-5. Mid-season trade for a hurt quarterback is definitely not the answer with a big salary. Anyways, Kyle, around the middle of the show, we like to do some weekly pick'ems for around the NFL, not just the Jets.
Wait. Did you write them down last week?
So here's the thing: is I did not write them down, but that's what I was doing while you guys were talking. I'm pretty sure I remembered what we said, and I have us both finishing 7-5-1. We can go back and check. And
because it's a tie.
Yeah.
That is the worst game I've ever seen in my life.
I'm pretty sure we both picked the Seahawks. But
so we weren't wrong, but we weren't right.
Either way, it's a tie. I mean, it doesn't matter who we took. But yeah, no, I said last week I said Eagles, they won. I think you said Vikings, they lost. I said Dolphins, that was my upset, and they won. You said Bills, but you start to catch up. Don't worry, you get like the last 5 in a row. But I think we both said Bengals. I believe we both said Jets. I couldn't remember if you were like, I'm going with the Ravens, but I'm pretty sure we said Jets. And by the way, we'll go check this, so this is kind of pointless, but I'm pretty sure we both said Bucks.
We'll go to instant replay. It's like the Dez catch.
Yes.
You know Bucks, something's going to get overturned, and one of us is going to complain.
Or any instant replay ever, but okay. I think we both said Bucks. There was a tie. I said Texans because I think I did. I do remember
because,
saying.
You know,
I remember saying I thought Brock Osweiler. I remember saying I thought Brock Osweiler was going to go into Denver and win, but whatever.
He threw a fumble. Yes, he did. We both said Chiefs. I believe I said Titans while you said Colts. I said Redskins. I think you did too, over the Lions. I said Jaguars. You said Raiders. Raiders won, by the way. I said Falcons. You said Chargers. Chargers won. And we both said Patriots. So we both finished 7-5-1. And for Week 8, I have the Week 8 schedule here. So, Kyle, let's get into it. And we can finally do the Thursday. Oh, and I think we both said Packers, but so I guess we can be 8-5-1. Yeah.
Anyways. So let's get into it. Week 8, let's go first. So, Kyle, Jaguars, Titans, Thursday Night Football. I'm going to go with, actually, Kyle, I'll let you get the drum roll first. So Kyle, it's your dibs.
I'm gonna go Titans because I just don't think Blake Bortles is a competent quarterback. I'm really shocked that he has not developed into a good player. Now, still, there's obviously some time, but entering his third year, in the middle of his third year, actually, the targets you have good running.
Wrap it up. This is the Jet take, not the Bortles take.
They have a lot of good things on offense, a lot of Pro Bowlers on offense, a good offensive line, and a pretty decent defense, and a pretty good head coach, and he just stinks it up. So, go Titans, because Marcus Mariota's a pretty good quarterback.
Hey, Oregon. Shout out for Oregon. I'm picking the Titans. It's in Oregon. I like Marcus Mariota.
You're an Oregon State fan? That is literally called the Civil War.
Nope. Not an Oregon State fan. I go to Oregon State fans.
Why do you go to games with
because
Kenny,
my friend has season tickets. That's why.
So you just go to games and you root for them. You literally told me that you catch the ball. You catch the balls when they're kicked through there.
Kyle, how does that make me a fan? Okay, let me explain it. Kyle's referring to my best friend has a brother. He went to college, but they get season tickets to the Beavers
I
games.
am your best friend.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
They get season tickets to the Beavers games, so obviously since their brother's at college, they have an extra ticket, so they always take me, and so I go to most of the Beavers home games. And yes, they do not have a net behind their field goal post, so we walk down from our seats and try to catch footballs. But Kyle, no, I'm not an Oregon State fan. I'm more of an Oregon fan,
wait.
But I do cheer for Oregon State.
You're a USC/Oregon/Cowboys/.
Cowboys?
Titans. Yeah.
Titans? I'm not a Titans fan. No, Kyle, and also Kyle is now referring to, I said my second favorite team is the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That is because when I was younger...
All right, we're off topic.
I know we're off topic. I'll wrap it up. We didn't have DirecTV send a ticket, and obviously it was in Oregon, so we didn't get any of the games. Our good family friend had it. DirecTV sent a ticket, so we'd go to their house to watch the Jets games. But he was a huge Cowboys fan, so then we'd stay for the late game and watch the Cowboys. So I turned into a bit of a Cowboys fan, but that's my second favorite team, and they're way down there. Obviously, the Jets take priority. Anyways, way off topic. Redskins Bengals. It's in London.
I'm gonna go Redskins because screw Andy Dalton.
Why? Wow.
Because screw Andy Dalton.
That was who I was going with, too. What the heck? Kyle and I are in rhythm right now. Yeah, I was going Redskins as well. Lions and Texans in Houston.
Wow, this is the battle of mediocre grilled with like a lot of salt and pepper on it, so it's a lot better than it actually is. I'll give you
wow, Kyle, I'd already written mine down. Yeah, I'm going Texans as well. I like them. Coming off a loss, and I don't love the Lions team. Chiefs and Colts in Indianapolis. I'll go first on this one. Chiefs for me. Kyle, how about you? Chiefs and Colts in Indy.
I'll go Colts because Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton have found their rhythm, and we didn't see it in the Jet game, but the rest of the year that Chiefs secondary is questionable. It's
okay. We'll wrap it up. Pats and Bills in Buffalo. I'm going the Patriots. Kyle?
Patriots.
Yeah, Pats for both of us. So the only game that's splitting us right now is that Colts and Chiefs game. Next one, Chargers and Broncos.
Broncos.
In Denver. I think we're both going Broncos there. Eagles and Cowboys in Dallas. Obviously, I got to go with my boys in Dallas.
Yep.
So we're both going.
Whoa, hold on. No. Wait. Eagles. Because they have a better defense.
Wow. Okay. Cardinals and Panthers in Carolina.
Panthers. I think they'll have Joe Hayden before that game.
Okay.
You didn't even pick that up, did you?
No, they're not going to have Joe Hayden in that game. I'll also go Panthers. So I'm desperately trying to write down these scores, but I'll do it when we're done. I think I'm going to remember this. Yeah, I'm going Panthers as well. Seahawks and Saints in New Orleans. Seahawks are a different team on the road. However, I'm still going to go with the Seahawks.
Drew Brees has been lighting it up this year, but damn, Russell Wilson's good. Seahawks.
Nice. Jets and Browns. I'm going Jets. I think the Jets are gonna win this game on the road in Cleveland. Low scoring affair for the Browns, but I think the Jets are actually gonna in the second half pick it up. I have the Jets winning about 28-10, 28-13, something like that. A nice solid day for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and more importantly, Matt Forte.
I'll go Jets, but I wouldn't be shocked if it went the other way.
Wow. Raiders or Buccaneers in Tampa Bay?
Raiders. Don't even, boy.
Raiders. Two more to go. Packers and Falcons in Atlanta.
Packers. RELAX. Relax. He's back. Aaron Rodgers. Put 3 G's on him.
I'm I'll go Packers. I did not like how the Falcons looked last week. I mean, they lost to the Chargers in overtime, but yeah, I'll go Packers. And then Monday Night Football, before we go back to Jets talk, and we'll go back to our callers, Vikings and Bears, Monday Night Football in Chicago. I'll go with the Vikings. I don't think this Bears team is very good, even though Jake Cutler's returning.
That only makes them worse. But this is hard. I think this is that time of year where teams start choking. They're not really as good as we thought. And I really think not having Adrian Peterson will affect them.
They haven't had Adrian Peterson like all year.
Yeah, and it's definitely affected them because now
dude, they just lost their first game. It's affected them obviously.
So they took away Stephon Diggs, who I'm pretty sure he's out this game, or he wasn't out last. He wasn't out last game. He had a hamstring issue that basically limited him to like less than 30 snaps the whole game. He's gonna be the same thing. I don't know. I'll go Vikings just because I want to stay competitive with you, but I think the Bears can definitely win that.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Well, let's go ahead and bring on our next Jets caller. Back to Jets football. Our next caller of the night is and Jaden is still on. I forgot. Is Jaden still here?
No, he's dead, fam. So we're gonna go ahead.
Sorry, I thought Jaden had left. I don't think we.
No.
Yeah,
all right, so we're gonna go on to our next.
That was weird. I think that was a glitch. Never mind. We did say goodbye to him. So, anyways, we're gonna go to our next caller of the night, and this is Marcus. Marcus, haven't heard from you in a while. How's it going, man?
Woo!
It's going good, boys. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. We were doing our NFL predictions, but obviously this is a Jets show. So let's talk Jets football. Marcus, what are your thoughts on this Sunday's Pats win against the Ravens?
You know what? I was ecstatic right after the game ended. I was on cloud 9, jumping up and down. We're back in the win column, baby. I was happy. But, guys, you guys have to remember, it was bittersweet. Definitely a bittersweet victory. We possibly could have lost that game. If you remember, Brandon Marshall had, going back from last year, he had, that old, the strip fumble, right by
yeah, when Ryan Fitzpatrick threw an interception on that terrible Cleveland Browns secondary, Deshaun Gibson picked it off, and then Brandon Marshall strip fumbled him and recovered it and ran it up like an extra 3 yards.
Yeah. So we got another gift from the gods again this past Sunday. Whenever Marshall did that again this week. So it could have definitely been a closer game. But I thought it was bittersweet. How did you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's bittersweet for me because I know we just lost 3 places in the draft, and I think that sucks because we're not going to make the playoffs anyway, so why even really try? But yeah, I mean, it's good to get a win. I don't have to think about suicide for the next week.
Ooh, bad joke.
That's not a joke. That's real. That is real, Ben. That's not even a joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, bittersweet. Definitely bittersweet.
Well, okay, guys. I mean, but let's be honest. The Jets are 2-5, and the Rams.
Ben,
the
stop
Chiefs
with
did
this
start.
rhetoric.
The Chiefs started 1-5 last year. We're not
Here's the
mathematically
difference.
out of
They
it.
have a good head coach and a good
Todd
quarterback.
Bowles is here to save the Jets franchise. No, I'm kidding. No, I obviously don't think it's going to happen.
Hey, Ben, what did you call Todd Bowles at the beginning of the year or in the off season? What did you call him at Mike McCagnon?
The best regime in the 21st century for the Jets.
In Jets history? Uh-huh.
No, I did not say Jets history. I did not say Jets history. I
said Jets
recent
history.
Jets history.
No, you said Jets history, and you got roasted on by Twitter. Then you backpedaled to recent Jets history. Now you're saying
No. I did not say they were a better regime than Weeb Eubank or Bill Parcells. I said 21st century.
That's exactly what you said.
I said 21st century, Kyle. I said he was better than Herm Edwards. I said he was better than Mangenius. I said he was better than Ryan. Come on, Kyle.
No.
You can look at the tweet. Look at the tweet, Kyle. Anyway.
No, you said it on the show.
This is a mute point. It's a mute point. Marcus, let's talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick. What's your confidence level in him moving forward?
Very little, man. I don't really have that much confidence in Ryan Fitzpatrick. He came in I know. That was all about that. Let me tell you.
I love how you hit the high note there.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I was all about that last year, like totally on the Fitzpatrick train. But this year, man, I don't know what he's doing. Like, yeah, he came in, he played decent. Like, he still, like, we have, like, a lot of 3-and-outs. I don't know. Like, I don't really have that much confidence in him. I personally would give him one more game. I think if we lose to the Browns this week, I would say throw in Bryce Petty. Like, even though he's been a year waiting in the rain, just waiting to take over. I don't know. I'm just ready for a change at quarterback for sure.
And yeah, I mean, I agree with you for sure. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, I guess the best case scenario for the Jets, if you want a Ryan Fitzpatrick change, is that the Jets win, but he looks still bad, or he gets hurt. But obviously, we're not going to be sure if Ryan Fitzpatrick get hurt. Yeah. Anyways, I believe that for the Jets, that Ryan Fitzpatrick has to I'm trying to think of the word to put here. Bryce Petty is something special. There we go. I was trying to think of what I was going to say. Bryce Petty, I feel like, is something special just from what I saw. Obviously, he has a lot of flaws, and you don't want to throw him in there too early. But of course, I mean, I don't want to spend a season. We've already seen Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I don't want to spend another season. If the Jets go in 5-11 and Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. So I agree with you. If the Jets lose 2 of their next 3 games, then Bryce Petty should be in. But the one thing we're not considering, and this was the one thing I couldn't remember, is Bryce Petty has been hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
You
wonder how much that's you have to wonder how much it's impacting Todd Bowles' decision to not put in a new quarterback, such as Bryce Petty. But obviously for Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, he has 9 lives in this league. He gets his second chance to come back and try to save this Jets season. But if he wins these next 3 games, I think he basically has a tryout until the bye. If he wins these next 3 games, I think going into the bye 5-5, coming off 4 in a row, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick will have his job safe until the Jets are mathematically out of it. Kyle, what's your take on it?
I don't think that Ryan Fitzpatrick should be starting, honestly. The only reason I think he's starting is because Todd Bowles still believes that this team has a chance, and I mean, that's good. He's the head coach. You should definitely have that. But looking towards the future, all right, if you're not going to get a veteran quarterback, you got to look at the young guys. Now, in the draft, I like 1 or 2 guys, but I don't think they can get us to the Super Bowl year 1. So, and that's when the window starts closing. That's when Nick Mangold, David Harris, Brandon Marshall, Darrelle Revis, list goes on and on. They just start dropping like flies, right? It's going to be hard to rebuild this team. Now, luckily, we've had already 2 drafts to rebuild this team, and I think McHagan's done a pretty good job of even bringing in younger, I guess you can consider them veterans, but younger veterans in free agency to start filling in the gaps for these guys. All right, we lost to Shaw Ferguson, one of the all-time great Jets, probably going to be a Hall of Famer at some point.
Well, can we talk about this offensive line, though? I mean, Brian Winters is going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
John Itzig's the best ever.
I mean, he's got to be smiling. I mean, he's had some bad drops, but, Quincy Nunn was coming on, Bryce Petty's coming on. Not Bryce Petty. I keep saying Bryce Petty instead of Brian Winters.
What is wrong with you? Are you just
I have my Bryce Petty notes in front of me, and that is the one reason I keep saying his names, because I'm looking right at it. No, Quincy Nunn, Brian Winters.
Do you see my note
that
he drafted?
Okay. Anyways, but Brian Winters has slowly transformed himself into maybe the Jets' best offensive lineman. I don't know if I'd put him ahead of Mangold yet, but he's very close with.
Or even Carpenter. Yeah, Carpenter's
he's very close with Carpenter, although Carpenter is very good. But Brian Winters says he was very bad his freshman year, his rookie year. He's transformed himself. I'm off today, Kyle, or just this little section. I think Marcus is just throwing me off. But no,
I don't think it's Marcus. I think it's your brain.
Okay, Kyle says the guy who doesn't know his difference between his yours. But anyway,
I do note the difference. So whatever. I mean.
Okay, well let's show the viewers. I can't tell you how many. Remember that time, Kyle? We were having Taiwan Jones on the show, and you spelled his name wrong?
Okay.
And all the promotions.
Is Taiwan an easy name to spell? First of all, man.
Twitter was right there. You tagged it.
And I don't see you making any graphics. I mean, your graphic design ability is like Christian Hackenberg's ability to throw it to an open receiver. All right?
So
you suck at it.
A tight
don't
spiral.
Even criticize somebody for graphic design, all right? Especially when you can't.
I'm not criticizing your design. Your design was great. It was the spelling on it. Anyways, Marcus, what's your prediction for this Sunday?
A loss.
You know what? I'm not too sure. I think we're gonna win. Like I'm pretty confident we'll get out of there with a win. But like Kyle too, I wouldn't be surprised if we did drop it. But I'm pretty optimistic. I hope we pull through. And I want to see like Fitzpatrick. Like if he can take this win and like move on like till next week. I like to go week by week, but like the schedule does really lighten up. Hopefully we can do something. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean,
we'll see what happens.
Especially, and then that'll give the Jets 2 in a row, and then they're going to the Dolphins game. I don't know. It's just the Jets' schedule is really helping them out here because they won that Ravens game. They have an opportunity to basically hit the reset button on their year. What, Kyle? Basically hit the reset button on their year. If they get to 5-5 at the bye, it's a brand new season. The big problem is they have not played New England both times, and those are definitely the two hardest remaining games. But besides those two games, I mean, you have these 3 games that we talked about. You have a game against the Colts, the Niners, another game against the Dolphins and Bills, and I think that's it. I might be missing a game or two, but it's a pretty soft schedule. But, you know, we did not fare well against the good teams, so playing maybe the best team in the NFL and the New England Patriots is not going to be easy. Anyways, Marcus, a great call as always, man. Give out your information. Do you have a Twitter or something where the listeners can follow you at?
I do, but I'm not really like too big on social media, so I'll call in next week though.
Give us your Twitter.
That's all good. That's all good, Marcus. Well, yeah, it's always good to hear from you, man, and hopefully we're talking about another Jets win.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Hey, you too, man.
Thanks for being on.
Yes, that was Marcus. We haven't heard from him in a while. Always good to hear from some of these callers. I guess we'll just keep on moving ahead with the callers. And the next caller tonight is
Wait. Ben, did you get my message?
The one you're drawing on the screen?
Yes.
Which is a very okay, Kyle, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna move ahead. Kyle has discovered a new feature in our podcasting software where he can draw on his screen and share the screen with my laptop. So now he's I didn't want to say it, but that was what really was distracting me, not my Bryce Petty notes, is Kyle is drawing
I know.
curse words and drawings all over my screen, and I'm just like, what is going on? I didn't know what was happening at first, but yeah, Kyle, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't while I was talking, but whatever. We're gonna move ahead with the Kyle's drawing something new. Let's read what this says, and this cannot be good. I think it's gonna be New York Jets. Anyways, our next caller tonight is Ryan. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you? It's been a while.
It has been a while, man. I was just talking about, some of the callers that we haven't heard for a while, but, I
it's
think
the Wednesday effect.
I'm telling you, I mean, we're digging back deep into our depth
Wait,
chart.
did we wear pink? Did we all wear pink?
What?
It's when you don't get that joke.
I feel like I should, and I'm just not thinking about it. Well, Kyle, would you please like to elaborate?
Mean Girls. You only wear pink on Wednesdays.
No, I did not. I do not watch Mean Girls, and I'm pretty sure Ryan did not either.
Anyway. A movie. It's a movie. Okay, first of all, correct yourself.
Kyle,
and it's an American icon.
Kyle, that's a little too much Netflix for you, man.
I don't have Netflix.
All right. Well, anyways, Ryan, how's it going, man? I mean, as I said a couple callers ago, I think the last time we talked to you, we all thought that the Jets were going to win the Super Bowl or at least be a playoff team. But it has not panned out that way. The season has been really unexpected, and the Jets are sitting at 2-5 right now.
What? Did you just say it was unexpected?
Yeah, Kyle, were you expecting the Jets to open up their season 1-5? And if you
I
say
have
yes,
them go.
I have our schedule predictions, and I will go back, and I guarantee you, I will put my life on it. Because you said, I think the Jets will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I guarantee it. Then you said, I think the Jets will beat the Bills, which they did.
No.
Against the Chiefs. Then you said, I think they'll beat the Seahawks, which they didn't. Then I said, Kyle, come on, buddy.
I did not say we would beat the Bills. I never said that.
Oh, okay, so my bad. That is another miss on your part. My bad, man. My bad, Kyle. I gave you one, but you were incorrect on that. You definitely guaranteed the Bengals one, though, because we were all
and we should have won. If Nick Folk doesn't continue to suck.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Anyways, Ryan, I mean, what was your thoughts on this Sunday's game? I mean, obviously Geno Smith, we were all excited to see him play, and he looked, solid. Hit Quincy Nunua in stride for a 70-yard touchdown, and then tore his ACL. So, I mean, that's probably the biggest news right now is Ryan Fitzpatrick, and which Fitz are we going to see on Sunday? So which Fitzpatrick do you think we're going to see next Sunday?
Well, I think the Fitzpatrick is average. I mean, this is the Cleveland Browns are playing, so he tends to show up against these below 500 teams, which it really isn't impressive. But I mean, if we can't beat the Browns, then we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it'll be quite frightening if we can't.
How?
Kyle, please stop drawing on my screen.
How did you read that?
Because I'm good at things. Yeah, I mean, if Ryan Fitzpatrick can't find a way to beat the Cleveland Browns, I think we all got to be worried, as you said. But I kind of got away from my first question. What did you see on Sunday that you thought was the biggest difference from what we'd seen in weeks past? Because for me personally, I thought it was the turnovers. We gave this offense, as many chances as we could, and we got Matt Forte involved. And the game wasn't as much on Ryan Fitzpatrick and Geno Smith. But for you, did you see anything else, or you're seeing more of the same of what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing more of the same as you're seeing. I mean, the defense played very well, what we kind of expected them the whole entire year, to be something like that, to keep us in games, get a couple turnovers. So that was very promising, hopefully not too late. And we took the game out of Ryan Fitzpatrick's hands, which is probably the best thing and the right thing to do going forward. Just keep it on the ground and, limit him to as much as we can.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Mark Sanchez 2009 approach of it's going to be run with Matt Forte and Bilal Powell, maybe get Pope involved as well, and then then we're going to just have to have Ryan Fitzpatrick manage the game. I think we've gotten a little too much to the old Fitz of last year where we can let him win some games for us, but so far he's been losing the games for us. So I think it's going to be very run-heavy.
Let me just get a comment here. I think Pope can be a blessing in disguise. I mean,
he dropped his one chance. I'm just gonna say, you had a bad drop.
Yeah, you didn't get the joke. Okay.
Pope can't. Wait. What was your? I just completely ignored it. Pope can be a blessing in disguise. Oh, great joke, Kyle. I got it. Anyways, yeah. I mean, but the other thing I think I noticed is we had been expecting it. I mean, ever since Decker's gone down, this offense just looks like it's been missing something. And Quincy Enunwa hadn't really stepped up into that number 2 role as nicely as we thought he would. And even guys like Robbie Anderson were dropping some passes and some other guys. But, I mean, this game, the young receivers also really stepped up. Is that something you're expecting to see moving forward? Because Quincy Enunwa finally looks like the number 2 wide receiver. Robbie Anderson looked comfortable in the slot, probably had the play of the game with his catch on 3rd down over the middle. And that was also freeing up Brandon Marshall again, which is something, I mean, he was finally not getting double-teamed the entire game. Which is something that's going to really help this Jets offense moving forward. So, I mean, are you expecting the Jets wide receivers to continue moving forward with that, with the production that we had been expecting at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, they're young guys out there. They need all the game experience and the reps they can get. I think most of the problem, though, is that Quincy Enunwa is mostly open, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is just looking at Brandon Marshall. So I think that has a big part of it because, I mean, obviously on Sunday, Quincy has that huge 69-yard touchdown, and then he only has 1 catch after that, which is a little bit – we need to get him more involved, definitely. Robbie Anderson was definitely his best day as a Jet with that 30-yard run and then that big 3rd down conversion over the middle. I was definitely impressed with him. I want to see Peak get more chances. I like Jerome Peak. And, yeah, Decker is a big loss, but I think our offensive struggles are just basically on the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say, seeing as we don't have a quarterback, and that's usually how blame gets laid. Ryan Fitzpatrick sucks. We need to look towards the future and start Bryce Petty.
Yeah, right. I agree, actually, 100%. I don't think there's any purpose or real reason to play Fitzpatrick because he's not going to be on the team next year, so you might as well see what you have in the young guys, Petty.
This man knows what he's talking about, Ben. You should take notes.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, so you guys just continue on talking, and then yeah.
Oh,
Kyle, when you talk to him.
Okay, I see he's trying to challenge.
I figured out how to draw on this thing. I'm very independent.
he's gonna challenge me here. But Ryan, let's get your take on who the MVP was of the game.
Sheldon Richards, I think it's not even close. I mean, three tackles for a loss, a sack, a couple quarterback pressures. He was there all day, living in that backfield.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
We agree on that. Kyle and David were saying Matt Forte. Yeah, I definitely think Sheldon.
I think Matt Forte was definitely one of his best days as a Jet. He was very good in the pass game, a couple screen passes. Obviously, he had another 100-yard rushing day. But there's a lot of I don't think we're using him properly, and we definitely need to stop giving him so many carries in the game because we keep on running him up the middle when we have Bilal Powell and even give Pope a few chances. I mean, Forte is 30 years old, so how many carries is he going to be able to take with his body?
Well, I think, Matt Forte is like Batman, right? And sorry if you haven't watched the movie and you won't get this reference. Matt Forte can get beat up, but he can take it. I mean, that's what's great about him. He's just one of those guys that can take hits, get right back up, catch a ball the very next play, or
how is this related to Batman? I'm sorry.
You were drawing a Batman thing on
your screen. You didn't have to. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'll cut you off here just a little bit, and I think that's one of the things we've really liked about Forte though, is his toughness, and the other thing we've really liked is we always feel safe when he has the ball in his hands. However, I mean that fumble was if the Jets hadn't forced a fumble there, I think a lot of people would be talking about how Matt Forte cost us the game inside the 10-yard line. And a lot more people would be talking about the Jets' inability to score inside the red zone. I mean, the Jets were given a gift with the ability to score inside the red. I mean, they almost cost it again. And that would have been 2 times the Jets would have walked away with no points, except they got the field goal on their first drive. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Kyle. I'm just gonna turn my mic this way. I'm not even gonna look. Anyways, yeah. I mean, the Jets' red zone offense is still struggling, and that's probably my biggest worry about this team moving forward. Besides Ryan Fitzpatrick's turnovers, they're still not a very good red zone offense. Ryan, what do you think the Jets' offense has to do to get their red zone offense moving again?
Well, I think we have to come up with a couple different play designs. I mean, in the first game against Cincinnati, I like the play call to Quincy Nunwa. I think we're just running basic patterns and slant passes, and we're too reliant on the fade for Brandon Marshall. And the line has to hold up because, I mean, as bad as Fitz has been, I mean, he's taking sacks, he's getting hit. So, I mean, we need to open up lanes for the running backs. We just need to block.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you could say that for almost every team. And you look at the times that Matt Forte has gone off, it's some pretty good defenses. It's just that the offensive line is dominated. And that's what we're accustomed to with the Jets. Pound the ball and play good defense. And that's what worked. So we need to keep doing this. Don't let Ryan Fitzpatrick lose you games. If you're going to let a quarterback lose you games, let it be Bryce Petty. Let it be Christian Hackenberg. Let them learn from mistakes. If you're trying to win, put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. But if you're looking towards the future, like everybody who has the right mind is, put in Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. Sorry about that. No, I agree with you. If you can't let Fitzpatrick the ball in his hands, especially this year. I mean, look how every time he gets near the red zone, you're expecting an interception. So, I mean, I want to see what the young guys can do. I mean, Fitzpatrick is not going to be brought back next year. He's been absolutely atrocious. I hated his comments after the game. That really pissed me off.
Yeah, he's a little pissed off too, apparently.
Well, yeah, actually, can I come in here just for a second? Those comments actually did not piss me off as much as other people.
And he's muted. All right, that's a terrible take from Ben.
No, Kyle, let me give this take. The alert I got from Bleacher Report was I should start every week. Ryan Fitzpatrick rips, head coach, GM, and coach, and post game tirade or something like that.
He did.
I was like, geez, Louise, what the? But then if you go listen to the press conference, I mean, they took his words, but yes, if you listen to the press conference, it's not as bad. He literally goes, I'm obviously I'm a competitor, and I believe that, since I'm a competitor, I believe that I should start every week. But so it was tough for me to see Geno out there. Like it wasn't out of the ordinary. He definitely should not have said it, but it wasn't as bad as it originally was stated. The comment that did get me though is the head coach GM in Los Angeles trusted me or something like that. I was like, well, yeah.
Nobody trusts you.
I lost faith in
Nobody trusts you. You are Kim Kardashian's stories. You cannot be trusted.
Kyle, your analogies right there are just awful.
You just called me Ketty?
No.
You just called me Ketty.
Anyway.
He just called me Ketty, and I can't. Oh, my God. Anyway. I'm going to cry.
Ryan, anyways, moving on. The Jets have been hit with a few injuries. And before we got a few more questions for you, since we haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoy it.
Yeah, we do too. We always like hearing from you guys. All these callers that we haven't heard from in a while, it's pretty nice. Especially you, Ryan. You bring some fire. But moving forward, the Jets have been hit with a lot of injuries. One that's really stuck out to me is not an injury, but it's Aaron Henderson. He's been placed.
I thought you said Aaron Hernandez for a second. No. I'm like, what?
Aaron Henderson has been placed on the non-football but injury reserve list, and I'm kind of concerned why. He is a guy who struggled with drug addiction and alcohol abuse in the past, and he's one of those guys that I'm really worried about. I'm actually not going to ask this question because we don't want to speculate what we think Aaron Henderson is up with him. But just prayers go out to Aaron and his family and hope he's all right. Coach Bull said he's not going to talk about it. But keeping on that subject, the Jets are down Bruce Carter and Darren Lee probably for this next game. And we've upped Tywan Jones to the practice squad. Two guys that kind of stood out to me on Sunday were Victor Ochi and Julian Stanford. I thought they provided a lot of. They provided a lot of speed. So, Ryan, what are you expecting from those two young guys? I thought they actually added a nice speed boost on the linebacking core, along with Lorenzo Malden, who finally started to make an appearance. We haven't seen him in weeks.
Yeah, that was nice. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. He was putting his hand in the dirt, which was helping. He was getting outside, and he was finally winning rushes off the edges, which was nice. So the linebacker core, despite losing 3 of its top 4 guys, he looked really good and probably had their best game of the season. Is that what you saw on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. I think Julian Stanford brought a lot of energy. He was all over the field making plays. He had 6 tackles, I believe, so he was just flying around. I was very happy with Lorenzo Malden. Definitely his best game this year, without a doubt. That's what you need. He can't be in there for 7 snaps a game. He's coming in cold all the time. You need to play him at least 30, 40 snaps. He's a young player. Obviously, he was struggling, but if you want him to, grow and grow off his potential, you need to play him. You can't just have him in for a few snaps a game. And I think Victor Ochi, I like him. Kid's from Stony Brook. He looks like he brings a little bit of pass rush to him. He's fast. So, I was definitely impressed with the linebacker group this past Sunday, even though they were down Darren Lee and Bruce Carter. They flew all around the field, made plays, and it just looked like the defense fed off them with energy.
No, yeah, for sure. The linebackers finally showed up as we were talking about, and really quickly here for upcoming, Austin Seferian-Jenkins is expected to make his return to the team after a high ankle sprain that's kept him out pretty much since his Jets debut. Are you excited for him, and do you think he'll get involved in this passing attack, in this limited Fitzpatrick passing attack? Because he was one of those guys that I was really excited to see in this Jets offense. I thought he looked good. And now, although he's been injured, it might have been a blessing in disguise. He's got a chance to just sit down and learn the playbook, understand the plays, and not, he's finally had a chance to just take a step back. And so he's had probably about 2 or 3 weeks here. Are you excited to see him, and how involved do you think he'll be on this Sunday? Because God knows, as long as Kellen Davis is not in the field, I'm a happy camper. So what are you expecting from ASJ on Sunday?
Well, I love the kid's potential. I thought he was a good player in Tampa Bay. Just obviously with the DUIs, he was cut for that reason. But I think he's very talented. I hope he gets a few catches. But the Jets don't seem to use tight ends, regardless. Hopefully that changes. But the kid definitely has a lot of potential. I think he could be our tight end in the future. He just needs some needs some reps with us, learn the playbook fully. But I think he definitely could be a building piece around.
Yeah, he was one of those guys. Yeah, sorry. He was one of those guys when he got signed. I was like, as bummed as it was that we cut Jace Amaro, he's a much better prospect than Amaro ever was. So, yeah, I definitely think moving forward, Safarian Jenkins could be a crucial part of this Jets passing attack. All right, Ryan, last question for you, man. What's your prediction for this Sunday? Who's going to win? What's the score going to be? Who are going to be, the most important players? Just your overall prediction for this Sunday. Everything in detail, not just the score, but, how's it going to go? Is it going to be a low-scoring test? Who's going to play well? Stuff like that.
I'll predict a 31-10 win, Jets.
Ooh,
I think
that's the same.
I mean, it's a little bit optimistic, yes, but this is the Cleveland Browns. They're down to their sixth-string quarterback. Maybe Josh McCown plays, maybe he doesn't. Either way, he hasn't played in a few weeks.
Kevin Hogan is a future Hall of Famer.
Well, not this Sunday, hopefully. But I think the Jets, after beating Baltimore, hopefully they pick up a few wins now. They're sick of this losing feeling. They should take advantage of the schedule. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick should rebound. I mean, how much worse can you get? I mean, this is the Cleveland Browns, so we should move the ball. Their defense gave up 230 yards rushing last week to the Bengals. Their secondary isn't very good, so I expect us to move the ball all day against them. And the way our defense played against the Ravens, I don't see how Kevin Hogan is going to be able to move the ball that much.
Yeah, I
expect to see turnovers and a few touchdowns.
I am triggered that you are insulting Kevin Hogan, so you've lost a friend.
No. Yeah, a 31-10 victory is not, out of the Jets' ability. That was the score last year. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I hope the Jets, stop the bleeding with the Ravens win and can, finally start to string together some wins because we know we have the talent on paper to get it done. The defense finally played like they should have all season, and hopefully Fitzpatrick can, work off that momentum and play like he should have been playing, since he's paraded around New York City all summer and got $12 million for it. Anyways, Ryan, great call as always from you. Do you have a Twitter or anything where the listeners can follow you at?
Yeah, I got a Twitter. _JetNation98.
All right. Well, we will make
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we will make sure.
I'll tweet at you, so you have it.
Yeah, we'll make sure to tweet at you and make sure our listeners follow you. Ryan, always good to hear from you, man. You bring the fire.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a good night.
Thanks for being on, man.
And that should be our last caller of the night. And Kyle, now we can just talk for a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up pretty quickly. All right, Kyle, I know we kind of gave our prediction earlier on when we were doing our weekly pick'ems, which I'm excited to see the results this week because we finally have it organized. I have a little setup here where I'm going to keep track of it, and I think by the end of the year I should be ahead of you, but we'll see. We're tied right now, so we're at phase one.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, Kyle. You have some wacky opinions, but before we come back to this prediction thing, you said something. I think it was yesterday on Twitter that angered a lot of Jets fans and angered me in particular. You said that you want to give Geno Smith a 2-year extension to let him know we're here for him. Please defend your case, or have you backed off of it? It's okay, Kyle. If you have moved on from this stance and realized how trash it was, it is all good. You can accept the L, and we'll move forward. And we don't even have to talk about it. We'll just wrap up the show. But if you are still on that crazy side, defend yourself. And it's not. I mean, giving Geno Smith an extension is a bad idea. It's not horrible. But you're to show him we're there for him is not a great.
No, that's
like
deal. Okay. Going back, I wish I would have phrased that differently because, as you know, Twitter is 140 characters, I think.
240, but yes.
No, 140.
Okay, continue.
But, okay, this is why I want Geno Smith to come back. Because in my mind, the season's done, okay? I didn't think we were making playoffs anyway. Now Fitzpatrick's playing like crap. Geno Smith comes in, looks good, tears an ACL. Bryce Petty, either not healthy or not good enough to play against the Cleveland Browns, both very scary. And then Christian Hackenberg, a second-round pick, can't hit. I don't even have a joke for that one. It's just so sad. All right? So Geno Smith probably has the best skill set out of all the young quarterbacks we have. He has all the in-game experience compared to all the other quarterbacks we have, or young quarterbacks we have. I don't think there's anybody in this draft. I don't think we'll land a veteran free agent. I don't think we'll land a veteran in a trade. So
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Did you say that you don't think there's anybody in this draft, even though 2 nights ago you were all for your whole Texas Tech QB, which I think is a bad idea. Now, I haven't looked I have not looked deep into him. I've only seen, a few plays and a few games from him, and I'm sure as the draft process nears by. But from the start, I mean, a Texas Tech QB, that system is not NFL football right there. But beside that guy who you're in love with, I mean, you got Deshaun Kaiser, Watson, Kaya. There's a lot of QBs.
Terrible.
Kyle, but they're as good as pretty much any draft class for QBs, and it's actually a pretty solid draft class for QBs. The odds are very good that two out of those four QBs.
You sit here and lie to us.
Those two.
Brad Kaya.
I'll say 2 out of those 4 QBs probably will be solid NFL starters in this league. Or let's just say probably 3 out of the guys who are ever going to get drafted in this class are going to be solid QBs. And the Jets, as we very well know, could be picking in a place to get one of them.
No, we won't. Not if we keep winning. Now if we're 5-5 at the bye.
I am fine if we keep winning. If we win the rest of our games, we'll be Super Bowl champions, Kyle.
Shut up. Just shut up. Wait, Ryan's still on the line.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Because it's nervous. Okay. Kaiser.
Busy drawing.
No, it says he's still on the line. But anyway, Kaiser. All right. Inaccurate, middle of the field, inaccurate in short game. I still question his ability to stay healthy in the NFL. He's not very, I don't see him taking too many hits. He's not like RG3, where if he gets, a paper cut, he's done for the year. I feel like he's a better version of Tony Romo, injury-wise. Not talent-wise in any way, but he has a lot of ability. I just think it's going to take way too much time to fully develop him to be an NFL quarterback. I think he should probably stay if he can. What year is he in? I believe he's a junior. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's a junior, I believe.
Okay, so I think he should stay another year because Notre Dame sucks this year.
Kaiser?
Yeah.
Oh, Kaiser's a senior. My bad.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have another option. All right. So he has to come out.
Wait. Well, let me double check this while you're talking. He might be junior. I have a friend at Notre Dame, and I'm pretty sure she said senior, but it might be junior. I'll go check on this.
Okay. Well, either way, if he has another year eligibility, I think he should stay because I don't think he's NFL ready. If he's a senior, come out. You'll probably be a first-round pick because you do have a lot of talent. I just don't think when I evaluate these quarterbacks, I'm looking at who can get us the Super Bowl first. And right now, that would probably be Patrick Mahomes.
He's a junior.
Yeah, I think he.
But he Kyle. I mean, to say he should just stay is a bad take. No, you can say Notre Dame is a trash team right now, but he looked awesome last year. He's looked solid this year. Although his team has crumbled, I mean that's a lot on the defense and the weapons he's had. But you can look at his mechanics, his pocket presence, his arm strength, his accuracy. His arm strength, his accuracy, his ability to read defenses has been great. The thing you can question, though, is his ability to win games and his ability to lead since his team is, 2-6 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, finish your point, and then we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I definitely question his accuracy, and there are a lot of people who do also. I'm not the only one, and I'm talking about Kaiser right now. Mid-accuracy, it's terrible. It honestly is. I've seen him struggle hitting a wide-open slant route. It's kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick behind him. He doesn't have good route anticipation. I don't know if that's just
because basing out off one throw, but anyways, Kyle, let's bring it back. I know you don't like the quarterback.
No, you're being biased here, and you'll hate Patrick Mahomes just because I like him, even though
it's because he went to Texas Tech. No, we'll see during the draft process, and I might change my mind. But right now, from the games that I've watched, I think I've watched.
Watched one.
I probably watched half of 2 games of Texas Tech this season.
Yes.
I probably watched.
So you've watched Jack crap, all right? He's a quarterback.
I know.
Good pocket presence, good deep ball, very
Kyle,
smart.
A Texas Tech QB scares me, and this is not what the Jets don't need another project.
And a Baylor quarterback didn't scare you?
No, but a
Penn State quarterback didn't scare you? A West Virginia quarterback didn't scare you? A Harvard quarterback didn't scare you?
I wasn't around.
Bull crap.
Okay, hold on. I had to mute him for a second. Hold on, and he'll unmute himself right now. But I'm just saying, the difference, Kyle, is that those guys are projects, and the Jets don't need a project. The Jets need a guy they can put in immediately, and that's something they don't have. And I'll unmute him here. because he's struggling to do it himself. But Kyle, obviously
you didn't mute me.
I did. Obviously, a Baylor quarterback. Because Kyle, the screen you have up is frozen, by the way, if you don't know. You have to go to the actual thing. A Baylor quarterback did scare me, but the thing was we were like, okay, we have Geno Smith and we have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Bryce Petty won't go until 2017, you know? He was our project QB. The Jets don't need a third project QB is what I'm saying. Obviously,
No.
Patrick Mahomes is definitely a project QB. Even if it's just 1 year. Kyle, you can't argue right now from what we've seen that you can just throw him in right now, and that's something the Jets can't have. If the Jets are going to take a young QB, if the Jets are taking a QB in the first round of this draft, it can't be a project guy. It's got to be a guy like Kaiser or Watson that they can throw in now.
They're project guys just as much, Ben.
But no. But Kaiser is not a project guy as much as
yes,
Mahomes.
he is.
No, not at all. We will put out a poll right now. But no, the Jets need a guy they can throw in right now. And right now, Kyle, Bryce Petty's the most prepared guy on this team, and that's an issue. So the Jets don't need three project QBs, is what I'm saying. Anyway, bringing this back to the point of Geno Smith and why you think we should give him an extension. You're saying basically you don't love this draft class, even though you loved Mahomes, but whatever. You don't love the draft class. You don't love the free agent class. So why should – I get your point that the Jets are starting right now Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg next season. But, come on, why would Geno return? I mean,
I get him cheap right now. I'm a businessman. I'm going to screw the player over, and I'm going to get what's best for my team.
But, Kyle, he's torn his ACL in October. Yeah. He probably won't return until the last preseason game. If that, we don't know his recovery. We don't know how bad of a tear it was.
That's why I said 2 years.
You're going to give – oh, my God. This is such a trash
It's not going to be anything more than, like, $3 million. It's not like
he's going to take a $3 million 2-year deal for $1.5 million. He could get bullcrap. He can get better than that on the open market.
Where?
Jacksonville, Cleveland, anywhere that would like a guy, young guy with talent.
Well, I could see Cleveland, seeing as they did take Mario Davis.
Young guy with talent. Geno Smith will get
yet to be shown on the field.
It won't be good money, but better than $1.5 million. And we're not even talking about guaranteed money. So I mean, it could end up being less than $1 million. It's just, Kyle, it's such a trash opinion to have. The Jets clearly have made their point that this regime has made their point that they do not like Geno Smith. We knew it from the start. They blackballed him all season. They're not going to offer him this. This is such a bad
that's their problem.
It's unbelievable that this is your take. I will say this. I loved. I really liked Geno Smith as a player, and I would absolutely be, why not bring him back? But the problem is that he has ruined his reputation with this regime, with the whole getting punched in the face and all the other scandals he's had, and it's just, I think both parties need a fresh start, and the Jets will move forward. I bet you the Jets will sign a veteran in the offseason, whether that is a guy like Romo or something better, or something on that level. It'll be a veteran, or if not, it'll be a Petty versus Hackenberg competition, which would be pretty fun. For who's going to start?
Pretty fun.
I would love. I mean, it wouldn't be great, but it'd be fun to see.
No, it would not, Ben. I don't think you realize that the Jets have a realistic Super Bowl opportunity right now. We have 4 future Hall of Famers on this team.
Kyle, you're so flip-floppity. This is so weird. Kyle, I'm always the one who's saying, I just said how the Jets had an opportunity to win the Super Bowl, and you're like, no. And you also said I predicted the Jets wouldn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah, because we don't have a quarterback to get us there.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying.
Kyle, are you sticking by your opinion, though, that Casey Rogers is the reason the Jets started 1-5? Because that was your original take, which might have been worse than this Geno Smith take. Is Casey Rogers the reason the Jets started 1-5?
For the defense, the secondary specifically, yes.
Why are you assigning Casey Rogers to the secondary?
Because he's the effing defensive coordinator, Ben. That's his
job. He's coach, though. He's the defensive coordinator, as you said.
The literal definition of coordinator is making sure that it is quality. It is not a quality product, and that is the defensive coordinator's fault for the most part.
You're yelling so, Kyle.
Because I had to yell over you, and you're just being stupid right now.
Some people don't listen to this show because we yell too much. That was a tweet we got this week.
That's their fault.
I don't listen to this show.
Yeah, that was some salty Bills fan because I was... No. Here's the background of that. That was a salty Bills fan because I was...
To be fair, I don't blame them. I heard this comparison as well. This show is compared to two brothers sharing a room arguing about sports, and I think that's a very good description.
But yeah, we know more than all of them. So, I mean, they can criticize all they
want.
No,
that was not a criticism. I thought that was a compliment. That
is not a compliment. If you're calling them brothers.
Two brothers arguing over sports in a room who share the same room I think
that's not a compliment.
Well,
they're calling us immature and annoying.
That was not the meaning. I personally spoke to the person, and that was not how they meant it.
Well, here's what.
Kyle,
the Bills fan that was calling us out on Twitter.
You can't say that's not true. Kyle, you can't say that's not true when we're literally screaming our heads off over
I'm not saying it's not true. But when you refuse to acknowledge any fair point that I have, the literal definition of a coordinator...
I'm acknowledging all your fair points, but to say that the secondary is on Casey Rogers is like, no,
it is,
guys.
He's the defensive coordinator.
No, Kyle. Well, I'm gonna bring it down a notch. I guess blame can go to him. Blame can go to the secondary coach. Blame can go to Todd Bowles. Blame can go to Darrelle Revis, Marcus Williams, Buster Skrine, Justin Burr. Anybody who's on that secondary, the blame can go to. You can put it on the front seven and not getting pass rush. You can put it on the offense and putting those guys out there all the time. But your whole argument was like, the reason this team is 1-5 is because Casey Rogers. And I was like, what? Not Todd Bowles, not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I highlighted the secondary in that argument.
No. And now you're backing up. Then you backpedaled and said, well, actually, Ryan Fitzpatrick. No, Kyle. I was being facetious and joking that your original point for why the Jets have been losing was Casey Rogers. However, we're past that. We know it's a little bit more than that. And before we wrap up the show, though, Kyle, and when I said the Petty Hackenberg competition would be fun, it would be fun just to, it's always exciting to have a young rookie QB, whether or not he's good.
No, it's not.
It is so fun, Kyle. I don't think you were. Well, I guess you were around for Geno Smith. But when the Jets drafted Mark Sanchez, even though we were with the wristband approach,
I was around for that. I have pictures for draft day. I wasn't official Jet fan, but I have pictures from draft day. I literally have them on the. I will email them to you right now. I have them from draft day.
All right, please send them to me.
All right, let me go get them.
thejettake@gmail.com. No,
I know.
Kyle, I mean, you told me you became a Jets fan during the 2011 season. So
I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I didn't even like football till then.
No,
so.
I'm not doubting. Okay, that wasn't even the point. The point is it is fun to have a rookie QB. I'm not saying it would be a great thing, but I actually do think the odds are solid.
It's not when you have Super Bowl talent.
Actually, that makes it better. That makes it better that you have a team, and let's say that you hit the lottery ball.
I just can't even take you seriously half the time.
No, I can't take you seriously half the time. Let's say you hit the jackpot and Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg is a solid QB. You have a Super Bowl ready talent roster to go. That is the only way teams in the NFL get.
What are the chances of that happening?
The draft? Not very high, but okay, this is a moot point because we're not even at that point. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All I'm saying is that
we're already there, Ben. You're not realizing we're not going to make the playoffs.
Kyle,
we're not going to make the playoffs.
I recognize there's probably a 1% chance we do. There is a chance. Kyle, if the Jets win out, will the Jets make the playoffs? Yes, they will.
If they win out. Well,
I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying you can't say there's no chance. Obviously, the Jets can.
I don't understand all the positivity and just we get one win over.
We won a game, Kyle.
We
Super Bowl champions.
We get so hyped over a win over a beaten up team with no Steve Smith, with no Terrell Suggs, no Elvis Superbill, no Marshall Yonda. I just named 2 future Hall of Famers right there who weren't even starters. And there was like 5 more guys who were starters. Now, granted, we had a couple guys that were injured too, but nothing really significant like your starting wide receiver.
Muhammad Wilkerson, Darren Lee,
Muhammad Wilkerson, who was not missed. He played in the game.
Eric Decker.
Eric Decker's been out the whole year.
Carter, Aaron Henderson. Decker's not been out the whole year.
He missed. He only played in the Cincinnati game.
Kyle, I get your point. I don't think the Jets.
They were way more injured than us on a significant level.
Can you just, Kyle? We're gonna bring this down a notch for the last few minutes of the show. Obviously, this win is just. I'm not getting too high on it. We have to see what this team is like.
Well, other fans are.
Kyle, please just let me finish my point, and then I'll let you talk, okay? And you can talk as long as you want. I'm just saying, if the Jets get to 5-5 at the bye, it is a new season. I don't think the Jets are going to the playoffs. I don't even remember our original point. I remember. It was Geno Smith. I don't think the Jets should re-sign Geno Smith. It wouldn't be good. It's best for both parties to go their separate ways. The Jets will have a battle between Petty Hackenberg and have a veteran. And that's how the Jets will go into the season. And it's
why not do that now, though?
And Kyle, were you just against the rookie Q? Whatever. I don't even care. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. If Ryan Fitzpatrick stinks it up this Sunday or any of these games until the bye, I'm all aboard putting Petty in. because the Jets, at least, if the Jets aren't going to get playoffs this season, we at least have to know what either Petty or Hackenberg is. Because let's say the Jets put Petty in at the bye week because the Jets lose 2 of these next 3 games or something like that, and Petty lights it up, the Jets can then go ahead and the Jets know, okay, Bryce Petty can probably be our starter next year, or he'll still compete with Christian Hackenberg and whatever, but Bryce Petty will most likely be the starting quarterback next year. And then you can check that off of the things you don't have to draft. That's all I'm saying. That's so all we're saying is that Geno Smith wouldn't be a smart thing to do. That's Kyle, anything else? Kyle, anything else to add on this point before we get into our predictions and we'll wrap it up?
No, let me just say one thing. All right, Jets fans. Optimism needs to stop, all right? If you honestly think we're making the playoffs...
Stop liking your team.
Yes. Stop liking your team. No. Always love the Jets. I'll always root for them on Sundays, all right? It actually kind of sucks when we win, though, when we're in this scenario. Because if you thought we were making the playoffs before the season, I don't know what you were thinking. We don't have a quarterback, and I wasn't, too high on Todd Bowles before, but now I'm even lower. All right, I thought he was a lot better during the offseason, though, but obviously things have changed. Why continue to put Ryan Fitzpatrick in when you can go with Bryce Petty?
I'll let you talk.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Ben. We knew this Bryce Petty quote-unquote injury was kind of a way to keep him on the roster for a couple weeks. I mean, can you
What? Kyle, what is that point? If it was a fake injury, Kyle, they would have put him on IR.
They put him on the temporarily IR for the first.
Kyle, no, we didn't.
The injured reserve, whatever it is.
No, we didn't.
I know.
Kyle, what is this point?
We did not keep him on the roster.
Yes, we did, and he's still on the roster. What is this point, Kyle?
We activated him 2 weeks ago, Ben.
Nope. No, we did not.
We did.
He returned to practice. Oh my God, he returned. Oh my. This point is so trash. He only started practicing a few weeks ago.
We have no future right now at the quarterback position.
I have proof. The guys who were put on the injured reserve, or whatever what you're saying, are only eligible to return after Week 8. We're going into Week 8. So that's how you know he was not on the short-term IR. And I don't even think he was on the PUP list. We kept him on the active roster, Kyle. That's what was so maddening about it. We thought the original Bryce Petty injury was like, oh, they're going to put him on IR. And the reason, Kyle, is because, one, Fitzpatrick did end up winning that game, even though it wasn't him. But right now, Todd Bowles is giving Ryan Fitzpatrick one last shot before he turns to the young gun, and that's the reason why. And Bryce Petty has only been practicing for 2 weeks. That's the reason they're going to Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I guarantee you, Todd Bowles will go to Bryce Petty if we lose, or Ryan Fitzpatrick's awful in these next 3 games. This is Ryan Fitzpatrick's last tryout as a New York Jet.
All right, see, that's my problem. He shouldn't even get this. Geno Smith beat him out.
Kyle, I know you don't think we're going to the playoffs, but Kyle, as a coach, you can't think that way. As a coach, you have to think, hey, the Chiefs did it. The Jets have 4 Hall of Famers.
The GM does think that way.
But Kyle, but you said you have 4 Hall of Famers on your roster. You have a very solid team. The one thing that's missing is quarterback. Right now, we're going to play the guy we got right now that we think gives us the best chance to win.
You're not going to have him this year.
Kyle, they're playing.
Best chance to win what?
Kyle, the quote from Edwards, and I'm pretty sure we have the quote, is you play to win the game. Okay?
We're not going to win a lot of these games. You don't play to just see Bryce
Petty. You put Bryce Petty or Christian. And Kyle, if Todd Bowles saw in practice that Bryce Petty looked like God, he would have put him in. Okay? Obviously, Bryce Petty is still learning. They don't want to rush it. They're going to let Ryan Fitzpatrick run this team into the ground, and you can agree with that or not. Or Ryan Fitzpatrick gets hurt. But right now, Bryce Petty is the backup. And, Kyle, to further this point, is Bryce Petty might not even be the backup on Sunday. He's still hurt. It might be Christian Hackenberg. So, that's the reason.
Then throw Hackenberg in.
Oh God, Hackenberg is not ready to be thrown in. And I agree with if the Jets are 2-12 with 2 games to go in the season, Petty's looked bad, Fitz has looked bad, then you put in Hackenberg. But Hackenberg, no, Petty's still hurt. Fitzpatrick was the leader of your team last year. A lot of the guys in the locker room still like him, and Geno Smith's hurt, so you have to go Fitzpatrick for now. If he sucks, then you go to Petty. Any last words, and I won't interrupt you again. I promise. I'll put myself on mute.
Okay, we'll do it. Did you do it?
Yes, I'm doing it on my mic, but yes, go ahead, speak.
Okay. Like I said, if you thought we were making the playoffs before the season, don't know what you were thinking then. All right, still don't think we're making the playoffs.
Are you kidding? Oh, my God.
I never once said the Jets were making the playoffs.
I know you didn't, but Kyle, that was a realistic expectation coming off a 10.
No, it was not.
I'm sorry. Kyle, you just said we have 4 Hall of Famers on the team, and we went 10-6 last year. How is playoffs not a realistic expectation?
When you don't have a quarterback, you waste talent.
I'll let the listeners make their own opinion. I promise. I'll put myself on mute. You can talk.
When you don't have a quarterback, you can have all the talent in the world. You're not going to get there. Look at the LA Rams. Todd Gurley, Pro Bowler. Defense, full of Pro Bowlers.
Denver Broncos last year.
Peyton Manning's literally a Hall of Famer.
Peyton Manning sucked last year, so...
He was above average.
Kyle, we were coming into the season with our quarterback who threw 31 touchdowns. So in their eyes, and a lot of fans' eyes, well, we had our guy who was solid and didn't lose games. I'm sorry. No. I'm cutting you off. Make your points fast because, Kyle, these are trash. We got a couple minutes to wrap the show up.
They're not trash, Ben. You're just not real.
Kyle, they are very trash, and I'll let her listen. If you're a listener to the show right now, tweet at us with your thoughts on Kyle's opinion on this playoff, on this, that the Jets had no shot to make the playoff at the beginning of the year. That's bogus. At least 85% of the fan base predicted we would go to the playoffs would be my number.
And how much of the fan base is actually present at games or respectable at any point or not drunk?
Okay, Kyle. So make your point, and then we'll wrap the show up.
I don't know why you want us to win. I honestly don't.
I'm a fan of the team.
I just don't. Put in Bryce Petty.
Kyle, because we can still we can still mathematically make the playoffs, so I'm going to cheer for that until that's mathematically possible.
Here's the difference between mathematically and realistically. Mathematically, I can still become an NFL Hall of Famer. Realistically, I'm probably going to have an office job.
That was your best analogy of the night. However, Kyle, so are you going to say if the Jets are 5-5 at the bye, coming off 4 wins, and let's say they get a couple losses by the teams that are in front of them, they'd be very close to that last wild card spot at 5-5, because the wild card leader would probably be 6-4. The 6 seed wild card would probably be 6-4. So the Jets would probably be within 3 or 4 other teams at that point. They would still have to play New England twice, but the rest of their games are pretty easy as well. Maybe they sweep one of those games. New England, they can finish 7-6. I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's coming off like I think I'm a homer to the Jets, and I think the Jets are going to win the rest of the games in their schedule. I'm not saying that. But, Kyle, you have to act like that if you're an NFL coach. Sorry.
But as a GM,
because, Kyle, the Jets have to play like that. Because, Kyle, the Jets, are you going to say, sorry, I'll ask you this, and then I promise I'll shut up, but we have 2 minutes on the show, is if the Jets are 5-5 at the bye, and let's say they sweep that first game, they beat that first game against New England, and
no.
Do you think at that point the Jets will be 6-5, right at that wild card spot? Because they'd be 6-5, which is right around where we were last year at that point. Because remember, the Jets were 5-5 after
if we didn't make the playoffs.
They were very close to making the playoffs.
But they didn't.
The Jets can basically put themselves into position they were into that Dolphins game if they win these next 4 games. The Jets can put themselves back into 2015 status if they can go in and do that, and that'll be coming off 4. Anyways, all I'm saying is if they're at 5-5, they'll be very close to that wild card game. They'll be coming off of 4 straight wins. You still think there's no chance of making the playoffs?
Yeah,
let's say Ryan Fitzpatrick's having a career renaissance and looking like I'm just saying the Jets, they're not out of it. I believe that they lose this next game against the Browns. I'll put a fork in the season.
It's not hard to game plan against Ryan Fitzpatrick, though. That's why I don't think he'll.
All right. What are we arguing here? Are you saying the Jets should put in Bryce Petty now?
Yes.
I would too, but Kyle, he's hurt.
All right, then put in Christian Hackenberg.
But
I don't
Kyle,
care who.
Oh my God. And you were just saying how it's not fun to have a rookie QB. It's just. I'd put in you have
it's
to put in.
It's not fun. I didn't say it was going to be fun, but it may be
necessary. This will be the last point, and then we'll wrap it up. And you can counter this, but I'll try to wrap it up because we don't need a 3-hour show on this. Ryan Fitzpatrick has put a bad taste in a lot of Jets fans' mouth for the past 5 games or so. But coming off that Bills game,
8 months,
and coming off that 2015 game. We all were on his bandwagon, and all I'm going to say is, by the way, I am not a big Fitzpatrick supporter. I trashed him last episode. All I'm saying is right now you can't put Petty in because he's hurt, and right now Ryan Fitzpatrick gives this team the best chance to win. However, if he looks trash in this game against the Cleveland Browns, and Bryce Petty looks is even somewhat close to being ready, then I'll put him in. But at this point, it doesn't seem like Bryce Petty's healthy enough, and Ryan Fitzpatrick has the locker room backing up. But I'm perfectly fine. Kyle, all I'm going to say is that the Jets do have a chance to make the playoffs if they win these next 3 games. It's a long shot. It most definitely will not happen. but there is still a chance. And the Jets need to capitalize on that. Right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick gives this team the best chance to win because Bryce Petty's hurt and Christian Hackenberg is an unknown. I would love to see Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg out there. As a fan, I'd love to trot out a young guy. I don't want to watch number 14 on the field. But all I'm saying is realistically, they're not going to put either of them out there. And you can't. You have to put Fitz out there until Petty's healthy. And once Petty's healthy, I think you'll see his reps go up. And at that point, Todd Bowles will make a decision. But right now, Kyle, you have to take Bryce Petty off of your wish list right now.
Two questions, actually. 2 questions. Do you think that move would cost Todd Bowles' job? Say Ryan Fitzpatrick sucks, and for some reason they don't put in Petty or Hackenberg. Do you think that costs Todd Bowles' job? Because Woody Johnson has publicly said, I want to win now. He is desperate to win now, and we have pieces at key positions.
So did Leon Hess, and then we went 1-15. Kyle, yes, if Todd Bowles sticks with Ryan Fitzpatrick the rest of the year and we finish 3-13, I doubt it that they would put an end to the Todd Bowles project immediately, given that he went 10-6 his rookie year. But yes, that would hurt him tremendously. But right now, with Bryce Petty still hurt and even if he's well enough to play, he's only been practicing for 2 weeks. And Christian Hackenberg, we said we don't want to ruin Christian Hackenberg. We want to sit him. So right now, Fitz gives this team the best chance to win. However, he's on a very short leash, and Petty is the guy I so want to see out there, but he doesn't seem ready. But if he looks bad, and the Jets even if the Jets still squeak out a win, I would look for Bryce Petty against the Dolphins or against the Rams, or after the bye. But right now, Fitz has this team by luck, and that's the end all. That's the say all and end all right there. Is that by some grace of God, Geno Smith went down, Bryce Petty got hurt in the preseason, Christian Hackenberg, the Jets swore they're not going to play on this year. Ryan Fitzpatrick's the starter of this team. Any last points, Kyle, before we go?
I got a question, actually. A lot of speculation that the Jets just might sell at the trade deadline. Any chance we see some big pieces go?
You could see Sheldon maybe, but again, I would only
I'm thinking B. Marsh.
Oh my God! I wish you had said this earlier because we could go on and on about this. No. And
I don't want to. I'm not in favor. It's just been speculation by many quote unquote.
For sure, the Jets will not trade. If the Jets are going to trade Brandon Marshall, it'll be after the season. They're not going to do that to him midseason. And that is only in the case if the Jets lose these next 3 games, because I believe the trade deadline's
Thursday.
So that's not this Thursday, right? I thought it was after the 9th game. Maybe it's before the 9th game.
Pretty sure it's Thursday.
No, it can't be on a Thursday. It's on a Tuesday because it can't be on the same day as it. I'm pretty sure it's the Tuesday after. I might be wrong. Whatever the case is.
Whenever it is. Yeah.
No, because the Jets season won't be over by that time. The only way the Jets would do that is if they were mathematically out of it. Anyways, Kyle. So no, I don't see anything. But if they did, it would be guys like Sheldon Richardson, maybe Brandon Marshall, maybe, but I doubt it. Guys like that. But no, I think the Jets are going to try to keep as many assets as they can going into next season. Reload. Have a similar roster, maybe draft Fournette in the offseason. We'll see. Anyways, guys.
Please, God, no. He sucks.
I think. Oh gosh, Kyle, we got to do 2 shows a week at this point. I'm kidding. Anyways, guys, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. And Kyle, are we doing a set for takeoff this weekend on YouTube? We can YouTube.
To be determined.
To be determined, check our Twitter, because Kyle and I have a pretty good idea for just a pregame show, 15 minutes. It'll be on camera on our YouTube, The Jet Take. We'll probably live stream it on YouTube or whatever. Just Kyle and I's faces, if Kyle's a camera or something, to just talk about the pregame of the Browns game. So look out for that. If it's not this weekend, we'll do it for next weekend. We're trying to figure out all the kinks and stuff of that. As always, guys, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google Play Music, iTunes, SoundCloud, Periscope, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, everything. Just look up the Jet Take on all those different media outlets. Our Twitter is definitely the best place to interact with us because we love to tweet. Kyle and I tweet on that account quite frequently. So if you love Jets Twitter news or anything, or conversation, just tweet at us or even just follow us and scroll through our timeline, whatever. It's greatly appreciated. If you're a Jets fan, we'll most likely follow you back. So it's pretty much an easy way to gain a follower. Anyways, guys, and by the way, our pinned tweet on that is all the media outlets we are on. So if you're curious, like, oh, I have an Android and I want to listen to you on Stitcher or whatever, you'll see that. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for us on our Wednesday edition of the Jet Take, which we will keep it at Wednesdays for now. I think I like this new time. Doesn't interfere with any other football game, so that's nice. My final prediction
college for football, you inconsiderate jerk.
On Wednesday nights? Jeez.
Yeah, they have it on like every night.
on.
I mean, nobody good, but you know.
Yeah. I do believe the Jets are going to beat the Browns by a considerable amount. I think the Jets defense is going to hold the Browns offense to 10 or under, and I think the Jets offense will put up. So I think it'll be 28-10, 31-10, something like that. Very similar to last year's game against the Browns. Kyle, your prediction, and then we got to go.
24-13. Brandon Marshall has 2 touchdowns, and Ryan Fitzpatrick throws 3 interceptions.
And at that point, if he looks that bad, I think we might. Well, I guess he'll throw 2 touchdowns. We'll see. At that point, then we'll have to rediscuss on this show. It's always fun talking Jets football. There's always something going on. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for all the love and support we've gotten in recent weeks. It's been awesome. We're very close to 600 followers on Twitter, which
Get
is
us
awesome.
there, you jerks.
No, okay, Kyle. I mean, we've been doing quite well on the listens, and our Twitter is slowly going up, and that's great because that's a great way to interact with us. And we'll post all of our content that we ever do. If we do highlight videos or analysis or post game on Periscope or whatever, it's always there. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you guys next Wednesday. Thank you very much. Can't believe you said that Texas Tech QB was good.